Slide it up. Okay, Israel. So, Most High Christ bless everybody. And,
Most High Christ bless you too.
All right. So, our praises to the Most High, giving us the Spirit to be His people and keep His commandments, glorify the Most High, and abound in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. Okay. So now we're going to pick up our lesson pertaining to pride. Okay. So Tuesday we went into pride, the type of pride to where Israel, we will not deal with one another. That's a form of pride. Okay? When we will not deal with one another. Okay? However, we'll go into another aspect. Another aspect of pride that a lot of our people fall over. All right? So now let's get Ecclesiasticus, the 10th chapter. Okay? And however, all sin, all unrighteousness is sin, okay, we want to deal with the unrighteousness of sin that pertains to the way that we think and feel about one another deep down inside. It doesn't matter whether it's from brother to brother or sister to sister, okay, husband against wives, the way you feel about your husbands, and children, the way that you feel about parents, and parents, the way that our children make us feel about one another, about them. Okay, we want to avoid that. Okay, because there's nothing that's so secret. Everything, in the sight of the Most High, everything is in the sight of the Most High, and any sins that we commit, it pushes us outside spiritually of the spiritual church and body of the Most High in Christ. Okay, and it makes us to be carnal. So I'm going to start at Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 4. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time He will set over it one, okay, that is profitable. Okay? So He's going to set the earth in the hands of His Son, Yahushua Christ. Okay? So now, along with Yahushua Christ, who else is going to be there with us? Okay? Who else is going to be there with Christ? Okay? So get the book of Hebrews. No, not Hebrews, Romans 8. Okay? Romans chapter 8. And we'll start at verse 14. It says, for as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of the Most High. Okay? So now those that are led by the Spirit of the Most High, you have become the sons of the Most High because you did something special. Okay? You did something unique. You did something peculiar. I want us to hold this, and I want us to get the book of Acts, because I don't want to leave sisters out. I don't want to leave sisters out. I don't want to leave little girls out, because the little girls are going to grow up to be women, grown women, young women. Okay? So I want to get the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter, and verse 17. Acts chapter 2:17. It shall come to pass in the last days, said Yahweh, said the Most High, I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh. See, all flesh. Okay? The flesh, all flesh is talking about the flesh of the children of Israel. And your sons and daughters shall what? shall prophesy. So females are not excluded in Acts the 2nd chapter, Acts 2:17. The sons and daughters, they shall prophesy. Okay, so it's not just us as men. So the female that we see is very peculiar unto the Most High too. They are gaining favor the same way that we're gaining favor. Okay? So how do we deal with that? We deal with them by making sure that we teach them and teach them and that they keep the commandments of the Lord, that they would. Okay? Psalms 144 and verse 11. It says, rid me, deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of what? Falsehood. So now David himself is asking the Most High to do what? Right, take him away from those that deal falsely. So why would, when if they're dealing falsely, they're dealing in that spirit that we're going to preach about today. That spirit of pride. They say, take me away from them. Okay? So now remember the scriptures say no man that in war entangled himself. So we don't want to be entangled. We trying to break free. So while the Most High is trying to purge us and cleanse us and break us free and make us clean, we can't desire to be entangled again with those same things, with those same people. Okay? Then it says that our sons may be what? Plants grown up in their youth. So now let's deal with that. That our sons may be what? Plants growing up, meaning that they may mature, they may become to be men, okay? That they may keep the will of the Lord while they're young. Because if they give place to pride, the Most High is going to destroy them. But what makes our sons growing up? Okay? Get the book of Kings, chapter 2. 1 Kings, chapter 2. Verse 1. David draw nigh that he should die. 1 Kings 2 and 1. So now the same man that wrote the book of Psalms 144, and we verse 12, he said, our sons may be what? They may grow while they're young. What's going to help our sons to grow when they're young? What's going to build our sons? Listen to his instruction that the same brother that wrote that, he said this. He said this when he was old, and he's going to tell his son. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon, his son, that our sons may what? They may be plants. They may grow up but while they're young. So you want to get on them, okay? Saying, I go the way of all the earth, be thou stronger, for assure thyself a man. So become a man is what Solomon is saying. Don't give place to pride, all right? And keep the charge of the Lord, thy God, Yahweh, thy power. So we have to encourage our sons to keep the commandments, okay? To walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments. This is how your sons become men, okay? So our sons are not going to be, they're not going to be men until they do this. You're just getting older and older. That's not really going to make you a man in the sight of the Lord, because men keep the Most High's commandments. Always remember that, okay? and his judgments and his statutes, as it is written in what? The law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper. So if we don't do that, then we don't prosper. If we give place to Satan, then we're not going to prosper. It says, in all that thou doest, in everything that you do. That's something that we got to remember. And whethersoever thou turnest thyself. So in everything you do, just because we live in modern day a society, you live in this world, that don't mean that you're supposed to drop this. You're supposed to leave off from this. No, this takes precedence. Anybody that don't uplift this is giving place to what? They're giving place to pride. Okay? So who's that? Go back to Psalms 144, verse 12, that our sons may be plants grown up in their youth, and that our daughters may be what? Cornerstones. So we're coming here to show you that there's a balance. And then when it comes to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that there's nowhere where the men should be spiritually no more or spiritually stronger than the woman. Just because there's an order where you're the head, that don't mean that she has to be ignorant and she has to be misinformed and don't know. So there's a place in Israel for these women, for these daughters, for these sisters. They have to come up and they have to be polished. So when something is polished, man, it looks fine, it looks perfect. It ain't no blemish or blots or streaks. So we have to stay on the sons and daughters, the females and the males. And dealing with a spirit that's contrary to the doctrine, or dealing with a doctrine that's contrary to the spirit, that's not in Israel. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's how you create crime. That's how sin is created. Sin is manifested through lawlessness. Okay? So it says in Psalms 144:12 that our daughters may be as cornerstones. You know what a cornerstone is like? That's what you start when you're going to build a block, when you're going to build a building. Okay? So we build in Israel, we have to make sure that who gets it right as well, that the women. Because there's come a point to where women are bringing forth what type of children? Monstrous children. So we got to stop our daughters from committing whoredom. You understand? We got to stop that. And we stop that by teaching them. By teaching what is a real woman? Well, look at your mother. That's the real woman. You have to be like that. You have to be like mom. Okay? You have to be righteous. And mom has got to be strong in this truth to where, she's not letting her daughter make the decisions, but she's making the decisions. Because the daughters, if the daughters make the decisions, they're going to make the decision based on what? Emotions and based on lust, based on the pride of life. That ain't never been of the Father. So the Lord has always, when we put this back in order, the husband's supposed to rule his house well. And ruling the house well, the woman is going to follow suit. But they still both know the Most High and know the Lord and know what's right. And then they're going to do what? They're going to enforce the commandments. So the responsibility and honor over the sons and daughters in the house is given to the parent, because as men, the Most High got us dealing with a nation. So we're dealing with a nation. We're dealing with other people's houses, other men, other decisions. So yes, we usurp authority and we can put down instruction in our own house, but then at home we have help with those personal issues. That's why the woman, you can't say nothing different than the man is saying. You got to be supportive. You got to have one voice, one word, no split or division, no disagreement. You got to say what he's saying. You got to be willing to do what he's doing. You support him. And technically, y'all were together before you had children. You didn't have children by yourself. Together, y'all brought forth those children. So my children can never come between my wife and I. We were together before the child. How could my child say something against my wife? You understand? Hey, you can't say nothing against my wife. You better get your head knocked off. You know, you will be in hot trouble. And the thing about it is, my children know that. You can't ever say nothing about your mother to me. That's off. Ever. Okay? And they do the same thing. They do the same way. You can't say nothing against him. Ever. What are you talking about? We're supposed to say the same thing. We are one person. We are for you, raising and guiding you. You don't raise and guide us. What type of stuff is that? You're gonna it's like no, you don't teach us. We're the parents in this case. We're the parents in this situation. We teach and we show you. We know what's best. Even when children don't understand, the parents, you still know what's best. And sometimes what's best is extremely hard for a child. And they don't understand it. But they won't understand it until the Most High does what? Open up that to understand the way and the job that your parent has got to walk in, which is his way. Okay? So, but pertaining to these daughters, hey, Most High say, I'm making them a cornerstone. Okay, our daughters are going to bring forth princes. Men, we don't have children. We don't bear them. We don't care them. We plant the seed. But the woman, she carries them. She nurtures them. She feeds them. She teaches them. They follow their example, and they love mama. So mama's got to be a point. We as men have to polish our wife up. You understand? We got to do a lot of work. And if we're not doing that, that's pride. Okay? So sisters have a big responsibility. A little bit on that. We still at Psalms 144 and 12. That's, that's a big responsibility. So we got to deal with those daughters in Israel. Okay? Because they're going to change the face of Israel. Israel is going to get a facelift. And that facelift is bringing forth a wise and understanding people. And who's going to help do that work? These women. That's right. These women are. When we can get off the internet and stop looking at the ones that the twerk? Tweaking. Tweaking when they going after drugs. Now they tweaking and twerking. Okay? When we can get that out of our heads, then we can really see the polished daughters. And when we see the polished daughters, what are they doing? They teaching. Okay? They teaching. That's why you don't want no light woman, brothers. All you brothers that don't have no wife, brother, you might as well shoot your feet off. If you go out and you just pick up somebody because you pick up a tweaker that's twerking, yeah, you asking for it. You understand? You need to be patient and let the Most High show you a woman that's like you. Like you single in the truth, and you patiently waiting, and you want a great reward, the Most High is going to raise up women like that too. They're being raised up now. But why would the Most High give his polished daughters to you and you desire for lust, not uprightly? You just want somebody to wash your clothes, and you want somebody in the world, wash your clothes and cook food and shut up and don't know nothing. Nah. The Lord said his daughters are going to be polished. You understand? They're not going to be tarnished. They're going to be polished. So the Most High want to give his polished daughters to who? A man of understanding. Not a light brother. The Most High ain't proud. You understand? The Most High knows what he's doing. So we don't want to do that. So remember, his point is to show that it's not just women or not just men, but, you got also sisters in this thing. So continuing, it says, after the similitude of a palace. Right? So now let's go back to Okay. Hey, somebody. Okay, Romans 8:14. Conference caller, please mute your phone. Mute your phone. For as many are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High. Okay? For you have not received the spirit of bondage again into fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption. Okay? So the Most High did what? Most High brought us back in. We've always been His children, but what the Most High did, He brought us back. It says, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. All right? So now it says, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the Spirit of God. So now, the reason why I come here is because if the Spirit bear a record and witness that you are the Spirit of the Most High, that you are the children of the Most High, and you have pride on you, which is our topic, what we're dealing with, that is going to show any person at any time, somebody that knows what's right and wrong, that you're not a man of understanding. You're not a child of the Most High. Okay? I'm going to read it again. It says, the Spirit itself bear witness, meaning it's going to testify with our spirit, our behavior. That's what it means by the Spirit. The Spirit that's inside of us is going to behave a certain way. It's not going to, it's not going to misbehave. Okay? Then it says that we are what? The children of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So that's what we want to shoot for. Okay? We want to shoot for this. And then if we get angry, guess who got to correct it? We got to correct it. Okay? Sometimes we be trying to correct and redirect somebody else and get them to change their spirit and change their heart. Who's got to see them? Who's got to see themselves at fault? The person. You understand what I'm saying? That person has got to see that they're at fault. Okay? And when they see that they're at fault, because naturally the Spirit of the Most High is going to be constantly doing what? You know what I'm saying? Correcting them, reproving them, changing their heart, giving them a final way to deal. That's how the Spirit of the Most High is. Okay? The Spirit of the Most High is good. You know what I'm saying? I want to say bad. And when I say bad, meaning good. Okay? Get the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. And that's 4. I should be with him the crooked ways. Oh, that's 6. Yes. No. Mm-mm. Please, I'm a Wisdom of Solomon 6. Okay. And I start at verse 13 on.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 13. She prevented them that desire.
See that? She prevented them. Okay? See what that Spirit does? that spirit man of the Most High going to prevent you from going astray. It's going to prevent you from being what? What do we want to be prevented from doing? What's the subject? Pride. See that? The spirit of the Most High. The spirit of the Most High going to prevent you, brother. It's going to bear witness that you what? The Son of the Most High. See how this thing operates? So we all got to examine ourselves and get better and stronger in this, and make sure that if you know, we gotta open our ears up to each other, and we have to be considerate of the next one, because if not, that person gonna like, man, you're not listening to me. You're dealing in hatred. You're dealing in selfishness. You're dealing about yourself. That's not what the Spirit of the Most High is. The Spirit of the Most High is about learning to actually love one another and not be hardened. Because if you harden yourself against your brother or your sister, it's going to keep you from developing a relationship that's fruitful and abounding and prospering. You understand? It's going to refrain you from being the children of the Most High. Okay? Because the Most High has given us this spirit freely. All we got to do is do what? We got to receive it. So she prevented them that desire. Go ahead.
In making herself first known unto them.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:13. And making herself known unto them. So how is it going to make itself known unto you? It's going to come into your thoughts. And it's going to tell you what you should be doing. It's going to continue to put the same old thoughts in your head over and over and over. It's going to make you. It might come like, what's one of them boxes that was real sweet with combinations? Sugar Ray Leonard, bing, 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 bing. Wisdom man, I be throwing combinations. I mean, putting thoughts into your head on how you should be, how you should think, how you should feel. And it's going to be redirecting you from the way that you thought that you should act, the way that you thought you should respond, the thing that you thought you should be doing. So that wisdom is going to put out some effort, because that wisdom is something that comes from the Most High. And the Most High is only going to do that to his sons and daughters that will receive it. Okay? And it'll keep trying and trying and trying until you understand it. Okay? Come on.
Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail.
Right. Whoso seeketh her early. So during times of tests and trials, that ain't the only time when you want to be better. You want to be better like now. And you ain't under no pressure to do evil. You ain't under no pressure. You're not under no temptation. You just sitting here learning because you want to do what? You want to improve. You want to know. You want to get better. You want to get stronger. You want to worship the Most High. You want the Most High to help you. So you're doing this before you get put in a situation. So when you get put in a situation, the Lord is like, I'm going to help him. So the Most High going to come through, and the Most High going to help you. You see how it happens? And the Most High, he's going to help. So all of you that's here and that's listening and humble yourself, you say, man, I want to get better. I want to know what to do. This gives the Most High justification and probable cause to come to your aid and come to your need when you're in distress. Okay, that's what that means. Whosoever, read it again.
Verse 14. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail.
You ain't going to have no great travail. Now, you may have some travail. It ain't going to be so great to where you can't handle it. You can't shake it. You're going to leave puzzled, shaken, rattled, shook. You understand? Don't understand. Lost, hurt, affected, destroyed, without hope. The Most High don't allow that to happen to us. Because you know what? Because the Most High shoots us that spirit called the Comforter. He gives us that wisdom. His attempts, hey, they don't fail. The Lord said, man, when the word go out of his mouth, it shall prosper in the thing that he sent it to do. Okay? Let's get that in Isaiah 55 so we can understand. We always use that to cut Let's use that to help edify us. So this is all of this has everything to do with pride. Let me tell you why. Because you're supposed to have the power to resist. Okay? Isaiah 55, verse 11.
Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
So the Most High got the word in to help you. Okay? Come on.
It shall not return unto me void.
It's going to do it. Okay? So now this is something positive for us. The Lord got it set in his mind, I'm going to help my son. I'm going to help Reuben. I'm going to help Asher. Okay? I'm going to help Judah and Benjamin, Simeon and Zebulun, Naphtali, Ephraim. I'm going to help my sons. Okay? You may be in a situation to where you're having a tough time. It ain't so great to where you can't recover, but it's tough. It's tough for you. And you need help. And you need help in your spirit. You need to think. You want to know, what do I do? So you're thinking. Most High sending that spirit, okay? And it ain't going to come back void. It's going to help you, brother. It's going to help you, sister, okay? It's going to help our sons and daughters. But we've got to help our sons and daughters understand what's happening with them. Because the same way that we don't see, like they don't see themselves grow, it's almost like it's invisible to grow an inch. Okay? The same way we don't see it happen. So the same way that the Spirit is entering into them and trying to lead and tell them what they should be doing, we've got to tell them about that Spirit. God is trying to get in touch with you into your mind. And God is trying to tell you that you should do this and you should make that decision and you should do this. Above it is for you to listen, because the Lord said it's not going to come back unto him void. Now with a child who don't really know the Most High, it could be frustrating to them because their mind is trying to convince and persuade them very strongly. All right? And the Spirit of the Most High is very persistent. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to be there and correct them. Come on, but for us,
accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
Exactly. So let's go back. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6.
Back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6.
Verse 14. Did we finish 13?
Yes.
Okay.
And verse 14. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail. Her sitting at his doors.
For he shall find her sitting at his doors. So what should we expect? For he shall find her sitting at his doors. We're in a situation and we're about to be moved with frustration, irritableness, anger, frustration. Okay? Read it again.
For he shall find her sitting at his door.
So wisdom is going to be where? Is it going to ring your doorbell at your house? Is it going to knock on your door of the house? Is it going to knock on the window of your car? Where's this wisdom going to be sitting at?
At your door.
What door?
Your front.
Huh?
Your front.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Who's on conference?
I was going to say, like your brain is going to sit in your heart.
Kabora, you there?
Shalom. Shalom here too, brother.
Shalom, Mark. So now, Shalomar. It says wisdom is going to be sitting at the door. What door is that?
Of your heart, your spirit.
That's right, your mind.
Your mind.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Wisdom is going to be at your mind. So a lot of times when we're going through certain things, our mind is trying to tell us one thing, and we feel a different way. We may be offended. We may be upset, disappointed. We may feel, the force, the power that we have. Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But see, that wisdom that comes from the Most High, that's promised not to forsake us, it's going to be knocking at our door trying to tell us to do something different. The smart brother is going to listen to it. He's going to open the door. The smart woman, you understand, is going to listen. She's going to open the door. And when you open the door, that wisdom is then going to comfort you and tell you what you should do. That's how you resist the devil. That's how a brother or sister like that is not going to look like a proud brother. You're not going to look like a stiff-necked, proud woman, a clamorous, rebellious woman. You're going to look like somebody that is giving place to the word of the Most High. You're going to look good, actually, okay? Because you're going to have that spirit where, man, you just humbled yourself. We have to stop worried about, I'm being played like a fool. I'm looking for a fool. Only the Negro is still thinking like that. And the Negro ain't repented because he's still calling himself what? A Negro. That's something that somebody labeled it. So everything about the Negro is still in that same lynching mentality. And not only was he lynched, now he's ready to lynch. And that's why we be so mad at each other. Okay, and then we can't be like that. All right, read the next part out.
Verse 15. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom.
Now, check this out. To think therefore upon her is the perfection of wisdom. Based on the answer that the brother just gave, to think therefore upon her is the perfection of wisdom. You need to charge it. We should be thinking about that knock. Okay? Don't worry, I got it all correct. We should be thinking about that knock on the door. So let me describe to you what's going on at this time. You're in an uncomfortable situation. You're upset. You're striving. Or you're not striving. You're sitting there taking it like a champ. Or whatever the case is. You might be winning. You might be losing. Okay? The Most High then sends that faithful spirit to you, and now it's knocking on your door. It's telling you what you should be doing. And a lot of times, the power that we have is so strong that sometimes it seems to be so strong that you cannot resist it. I'd like to get that other precept about that out to show them what we're talking about. It's about a man and his strength. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 28.
That's right, you're right. Get this, Ecclesiastes 28. I'm going to describe this thing to you. Because dealing in this is pride. Ecclesiastes 28, I think it's 10.
Yes. Ecclesiastes chapter 28 and verse 10. As the matter of the fire is.
Okay, stop. Give them a chance to get it. Okay, come on.
Ecclesiastes 28 says.
Not so fast, huh?
As the matter of the fire is, so it burns.
Right. So now a lot of us, we can relate to that. And what that means is, you got a situation, please mute your phone. You got a situation, and it's on fire. Okay? And fire is destructive. Well, it's going to do what fire does. It's going to destroy. So if you're angry and you're upset, it's going to bring forth destruction. There's no way that you can think that you can be angry and upset with somebody. The destructive part, the damage that you're going to do to them is you're going to hurt them. You're going to offend them, okay? Now, some of us, we too big and too bad and too bold to be like, my feelings hurt. But the truth is, a word that we all comfortable and used with is offending. You offended that person. You actually hurt that person, okay? And in doing so, you actually can change the way that a person think about you and the way a person feel about you. We got to stop that. So it says, as the matter of the fire is, so it burns. It'll continue to burn. But that's when that wisdom will be knocking at your door. The Most High is going to come, you understand, and He's going to be trying to change you. And you brothers have got to open that door up, okay? That's the Most High getting into your thoughts. You women, you got to open that door up. Not answering that door, that's pride there. You cannot resist that. That's wicked right there. You cannot resist that. You're supposed to let that spirit come in and make a difference in the situation, you know, that you're going through. Even if it it's supposed to turn you a 360-degree turnaround. You're supposed to go from that to repentance. You know what? I'm apologizing. I'm apologizing. Yeah, I'm apologizing. You're supposed to be seeing your fault because that's what type of man or woman you have to be. A great man and woman, you know, that's always seeking the Most High. You're gonna be like, you know, now you're trying to make amends. You know, I'm letting it go. That, you know, that's not right. I should do this and we should do that, and you know, I want to be on the same page. You know, that's how you recover yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, come on.
And as a man's strength is, so is his wrath.
That is a dangerous thing. Now, I want us to slow it down, and I want us to all think about ourselves, because this is a dangerous thing. You playing with fire. Okay? Read it again.
And as a man's strength is.
You know what the strength is? How much you think you know. That's your strength. The strength is what you think you know. And your strength is how you think you're right. Okay? Go ahead.
So is his wrath.
And because you think you know, and because you think you're right, yeah, your wrath is gonna bring up and equal or surpass what you feel you know. Okay? Come on.
And according to his riches, his anger riseth. And the stronger they are which contend.
And the stronger they are which contend, go ahead.
The more they will be inflamed.
The more you'll be inflamed. So it's the same thing. Okay? And we don't think about the riches as far as money. But you do have some people with money that you can't, you know, somebody feel like, I got money, you can't tell me nothing. I'm the breadwinner in the house. You can't tell me nothing. Like, what's that one movie? Was it All About the Dead President? Is it The Dead Presidents? I was finna mix the two, All About the Benjamins and the Dead Presidents. No, it's the Dead Presidents. Okay? The sister in there, she told the man, I don't want to hear shit. Until you bring in some real money in here, I don't want to hear nothing. Those are exact words. I don't want to hear S-H-I-T. Okay? So now, you got some women that, you know, they make the bread, and because they make the bread, you can't tell them nothing. And until you can surpass me and bring in some money, I don't want to hear nothing. No. That's why the scriptures say that according to his riches, his anger rise. You know, so those of you that you might be the breadwinner in the case, even there are some men. You might have a struggling sister, and all these struggles are in your life for a reason. They're not there for your destruction. They're there for your learning purposes. But there are some people that through pride is failing this test. If the Most High got a situation to where a woman is making the money and there's problems, and then you got the man there, that's a test. You failing it. Because as a woman, you're supposed to be like, hey, we got all things in common. This is our money. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is ours. Okay, when you read the scriptures, Anna, Tobias' wife, went out and she went to work and she brought the kid home to Toby. Okay? She went to work. So she wasn't like, well, this is my kid. You understand? This is my meat. I work for this meat. You need to go get you some meat. She wasn't like that. She brought that home to the family. Okay? And yes, they had a daughter that was in the midst of all of that. So if she was all hard and proud, what type of example would have taught her daughter? A bad example. She didn't do that. So any woman that is behaving like that, you failing a simple test. The same way that if the Most High set the man up and he's winning the bread, and you bringing bread, but it might be a few slices and not a big loaf, you definitely don't want him walking over you, okay, like a dog, like a dog ate. Let me get with us because we be like that. I'm trying to be rated PG, but when the stuff breaks out at home, it be rated R. Okay? So you don't want him to, be acting like a dog, a nigger. You want him to be a man of the Lord and man up and feel like, hey, you're responsible, man. We in this together. Why are you tripping off of this? Why are you tripping off of that? The truth is, when your family, you're supposed to be in it together. And nobody's supposed to be counting. Well, this is my opinion and this is your opinion. There are some cases to where, y'all achievers and you getting this and you getting that and, you working a wage and you put some money on the table and then you sit some to the side out of a wage that you made. That's acceptable. And anybody that don't understand that, counsel with me. I'll sit down and help you explain it. I've showed that, several times to people on how to make that work. To where, you've got money and he's got money and she's got money and you got money and you got money and she's got money or whatever, and you still can put money on the table and make it work. But, the money that you have to put to the side, when that money is needed, you got to have the spirit. But it comes with growing and maturing in the truth to become men and women of the Lord, not covetous men. So when it comes time, then, you have to go get that money. You have to go get solve our problems. There ain't no questions asked. And if there is some questions asked and something to be said or done about it, it definitely ain't done through strife. Because you got to remember how the apostles and how when they taught the word of the Most High, that they made sure that they taught the people to have things in common. And that no man or woman said that each of this stuff was their own. That's so far above what Israel is doing now. I want to call it pathetic. That is a high thing, and that's the spirit that we're trying to get to. Okay? So now let's go back. A conference call and mute your phone, please. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, right? And verse 15.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 15. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom.
To think therefore upon her is the perfection of wisdom. Remember, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about that knock at the door. We're thinking about that deliverance that the Most High has sent that spirit to tell us to change inside of our mind, our conscience. Our conscience is telling us, calm down. Our conscience, that's the wisdom of the Lord. That's the Spirit of the Lord. But we say that we the sons and daughters of the Most High. So the Most High sent that thing to us for us to think upon it. Now, remember, we just came from Ecclesiastes 28. According to a person's strength, his rage is going to be equal to that, right? So his rage is going to be trying to keep that out, right? We got to turn and think upon that and hear that knock again, right? We can't act like say for instance, I want us to use our imagination. You got 2 children in the room and 2 adults. The adults are going at each other, right? You see how they ignore the babies? The babies could start screaming or whatever, right? You know, that rage and flames above the screen. They're ignoring the baby, right? Now let's turn those babies unto the attempts of the Lord. The attempts of the Lord is trying to get through to us. We can't let that rage escalate above what the Most High is trying to do. We have to think upon that. The Most High is knocking at the door. Okay? When you read, what is that? What was the knock at the door? Verse 13? No, you got to be with me. 14, the end of 14. For he shall find her sitting in his doors. The Most High is trying to send that wisdom to us. Okay? In our imagination, we can imagine. Okay? You got a fighting family, a man and a woman and children. Children in the background, the man and woman, they going at it. Okay? They disagreeing. The children in the background. Sometimes the children might be afraid because of the tone of the voice. And they don't like it, so they start to cry. But the fighting man and the woman is ignoring the children. You understand? They're going to keep at it. And it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and louder and louder and louder. You got some people that will see the effect of the children and be like, oh, we're doing this in front of the kids. You know, look, you're scaring the kids. We got to stop it. So they're going to take heed. But then you got a lot of people that will pass on, right? Mm-hmm. So now we just took away those children and we just made those children the word of the Most High, trying to knock and tell us in the midst of that rage, you can't do that. You can't say that. You can't think like that. You can't behave like that. As a matter of fact, turn all the way around and have a contrite and broken heart and spirit. That is difficult to a lot of people, but that is what has to be done. That is the spirit that is going to bear record that you are a son of the Most High and you are a daughter of the Most High. Okay, finish it.
And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care.
And whoso watcheth for her, okay, shall quickly be without care. That means that you're going to recover, okay? You're going to speedily recover and not have any problems and not be worried. Because a lot of times we be worried about the damage that we made. See, that care is going into worrying. You ever been into a situation to where you hurt or you affected somebody and then you was concerned after you thought about it, the damage that was done, the words that was said, the behavior. You was worried about that. You're like, wow. Well, see, if you make sure that when it says watch it means let me look that I do the right thing. So now you have to look to make sure that you answer and you receive that spirit of correction from the Most High, because the Most High through the Spirit is dealing with you. When you receive that, open that door, the scriptures say shall quickly be without care. Okay? You're going to be able to recover and you're not going to worry that I messed up. This takes away grudging. This takes away, oh, we're mad at each other for 2 days. We mad at each other for 4 days. Okay? Because from even unto even, man, next thing you know, you really realize it's Friday and this thing jumped off Tuesday evening. So all those days then went past. When it did get talked about. You worried about that. You thinking about that. That scripture say if you had to open the door, you will quickly be without care. You're not even concerned because you know what you did? You dealt with it. You dealt with it. Not dealing with it is pride. Sons and daughters of the Most High, they don't let that happen. So you brothers and sisters, you can't let that happen to you. You have to be stronger than that. This is what David was telling his son Solomon. When you go about the earth, man, you show yourself a man. Because this is what men do. Okay? Read the next verse.
For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her.
So the Spirit of the Most High is looking to see who's worthy. Okay? Who's worthy of her? Are we? If you're worthy of it, then you're not going to be given place to that. Okay? You're not going to get the bad name. You don't care. You ever had somebody tell you don't care? You act like you don't care. If somebody's telling you that you don't care, that's because you deal in pride. And when they see you, they see you doing this. This is the opposite. Okay? Let's get Romans 15. This is what we dealt with on Tuesday. Okay? Romans 15 and 1.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves.
So, if somebody is telling you that you don't care, they see that you're not doing that. They see that you're pleasing yourself. Read the second verse.
Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good edification.
They see that you're not doing that. They see that you don't care. Okay? They see that you're not changing. You're not making any adjustments. That you're not humbling yourself. That you're not opening up your ears. Okay? Read the next part.
For even Yahushua pleased not himself.
Stop. So even Yahushua didn't please himself. But we be the same ones that say we follow Yahushua. So now let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 6.
Back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 16. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the way.
So now the Lord's going to show us what we should do right in the midst, okay, of disagreeing. Right in the midst of when we're in our feelings. Right in the midst. If the Most High is not doing that to you, well, there's another answer for that there. Okay, let's get this. Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, in verse 2.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Okay.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not.
Come on.
And showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him.
So now if a person don't trust the Most High, you know what they're saying? They're saying negative stuff. Like, this ain't going to work. You ain't going to change. They thinking evil. So when we think evil, so, when we doubt the Most High and we think evil of each other, the Most High, man, he don't deal with you in that situation because you already starting off not trusting him. Get the book of James. So y'all think that this is a game. Some people play games. You think that this is a game. But this is the reason why you struggle. St. James chapter 1, verse 6.
St. James chapter 1 and verse 6. But let him ask in faith.
So the Lord said, let them ask in faith. That means you're supposed to be asking, believing. Okay? Read it from the top.
Verse 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Okay. Let him ask in faith, wavering nothing. Okay? So now, let's see. Read the 7th verse.
Verse 7. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yahweh.
Right. So if you're asking, now while I'm talking, get the book of Romans, the 14th chapter. Okay? So now, you sit there, you asking, but you don't really believe. Or you're doubting. Because that's why we came here. You doubting. You don't believe in this person. You don't believe in that. When you don't believe in somebody, how can you ever come to the conclusion of being on one accord? You don't believe him. You mistrust him. Okay? You mistrust him. So Romans 14 in verse 22.
Romans chapter 14 and verse 22. Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself.
So if you got faith, then you should have it to thyself before the Most High. So you're supposed to show your faith to the Most High. Come on.
Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing which he allowed.
Come on.
And he that doubted is damned if he eat.
Come on.
Because he eateth not of faith.
So now a person, if they're doing something, I know this is talking about, the meat, but we're dealing with each other and the hatred that and wrath that, we use towards one another. The scriptures say, because he's doing it and he's not doing it believing. So when we humble ourselves and we submit ourselves to each other, man, we're supposed to believe that the Most High is actually going to deal with that person. The Most High is going to help that person. But here's the reason why we came. The last part. For whatsoever
is not of faith is sin.
So not believing is unlawful. And thinking evil of a brother is unlawful. You ain't going to change. You ain't going to change. You're going to keep doing it. You're going to do it again. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're not even having faith that the Most High is going to help this person. You don't even have faith that the Most High help you. The Most High said that is sin to him. We can't think evil of each other like that. That's pride. Okay? So now lose all of that. Let's get back to the beginning. Ecclesiasticus, right?
I got a question.
All right.
Because I know that this is something that people say when they make statements like that. Dealing with the evil thought about telling a person, you ain't gonna change, and most people make that statement based on the person's actions.
Okay, true that.
So the excuse that to justify the statement is because of what you're doing. You ain't gonna change because of your actions, of what I'm seeing you do.
Okay.
What's
the question?
The question is, that a person will justify themselves saying because of what you're doing, pertaining to the evil thought that's coming out.
That's a statement. What's the question?
I guess that is the question.
That's not a question. That's a statement. It's still unlawful.
Right.
But that's what I said from the beginning. It's unlawful for somebody to tell another person that they're not going to change. Okay? You can't discourage somebody like that.
Right.
And have we all done it? The answer is yes. Do we all have to stop? The answer is yes. You cannot blow the wind out of somebody's sail. Okay? You cannot take somebody's crutch away from them. All right? As a matter of fact, we're supposed to be the crutch for each other. I gave you an example of the old school. Remember, a lot of you remember the old crutches or the old little leg stilts that the handicapped used to wear, the little metal ones that go on the legs to help him walk. The brother is the brother, and we are the metal crutches. We are the metal stilts. You don't take that away from the person that's trying to help him walk. Okay? Trying to help him walk. We're those stilts. By telling somebody that what they're not going to do, you're discouraging them. Yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of us could be hard, but if you're so hard, you'd end up probably persuading and convincing somebody that, yeah, maybe I can't do it then. Maybe I can't do it. Maybe this ain't for me. When Israel you gotta show Israel that it's a day-by-day process, and today they need to get it right, and they need to show up swinging and fighting tomorrow so that they can do a better job. But you cannot just be in somebody's face saying what they can't do, and not giving them an opportunity to examine themselves. That's you not listening to the wisdom of the Lord knocking in your head. Trying to straight calm you down and tell you, hey, bag down. The scripture is the Most High is telling you, I'm at the door. You're supposed to open it. Okay?
Also, I guess there was a statement.
All right, so now Ecclesiastes chapter 10, and where would we start it up? 10 and verse 4. So read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
He will set over it one that is profitable. That's Yahushua he's going to set over it. And he's also, if we want to be with Yahushua, that's why we went to Romans 8, but it didn't end up finishing it. Because it's going into us being joint heirs along with him. Okay? So now, if you want to be joint heirs with him, as we go into the next, to the rest of the second half of the lesson, you want to avoid this. Because you won't be there. Okay? Read the next part.
Verse 5. In the hand of Yahweh is prosperity of man.
So your prosperity is in where? Is in his hand. Yes. So we have to understand that. Your prosperity is in his hand. You know what your prosperity is? Your promotions. A lot of us, we so used to gung-ho wanting to get a better job, get lifted up, get a nice house, get a car, get money, get this and get that. That's in the hand of the Lord. Okay? How do you get that stuff? You read the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, verse 1 through 15. He's going to come right back to where we at. You have to keep the commandments in order to be blessed in the city that you live in order to have your storehouse blessed. When you apply the scriptures, the Most High going to promote you. When you break the commandments, the Most High going to demote you. He's going to take away those things that you need, even the basic necessities. Why is that? Because you're sinning against him, and he's trying to get your attention. Okay? Go ahead.
And upon the person of the scribe shall be laid his honor.
All right, so the Most High, he's going to lay his honor on the person of the scribe. Okay? You know what a scribe is? A scribe is one that keeps the laws and teach the laws and tell people about the laws. All right? Go ahead.
Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong.
See that? Now it's coming out. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong. Okay? Because what? What's the deal with your neighbor? Do your neighbor have a bunch of things that he could be doing wrong? The answer is yes. Brother might have a bunch of faults. You can't be hating him for everything that he's doing. You have to correct him. If you see him sin, then you have to correct him. Okay? Wives. Okay? If you see your husband sin, then you have to correct him. Okay? You have to correct them. You cannot get used to saying, well, he does this and he does that. I'm just going to let him do it. Okay? And vice versa. And parents with the children. You got some children that's not listening. You got to say something. You can't just let them get away with it, because then you're going to begin to dislike his ways. I just watered it down for you. I don't like it when he do that. He going to learn. You know, scriptures say there's hatred. You hate when he do that. That's the truth right there. I had to teach my children the true meaning of this thing. That's hatred. I see the way that they deal with each other. I say, oh, so you hate them, huh? No, I don't hate them. One time I don't think that I was very hard about it, but the way I described it, one of them was in tears. Because of the way that they dealt with another one. I said, that's hatred. They didn't like the fact that I was saying that it was hatred, but it is hatred. When you don't like something that somebody's doing and they're constantly doing it, it's love and hate. The scriptures say hate. So then I end up telling them, say, well, you know what? I don't like the fact that I use the word hatred. Let me tell you what to do there. Correct that person so that they could stop, and then you don't have a reason to feel like that. Okay. Now, children are notorious for but they don't listen. But hey, all you got to do is deal with one day at a time. Okay, you correct them for this, and you correct them for that. But what you cannot do is develop a spirit of hatred. Well, I tell them, I don't like her. I don't this, I don't that. You can't feel like that about each other, because we should be doing what for each other? Huh? How should we feel about each other? Well, we should be loving each other and caring for each other. Okay? Let's get this. Give me a precept. How should we feel about each other? Should we be preferring each other? What does it say to that? Let's try Romans 12. Romans 12 and 9.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation.
You know what dissimulation is? Okay. Dissimulation means let it be without being phony. Okay. You know how in the streets we walk up to each other and we say, what's up? And deep down inside we be like, I don't like this nigga. This nigga here. Right? This person here, I got to say it all rated PG. This person here. Okay. So we can't be like that. And we got to force each other to get along, to be with this. Scripture say, let love be without being phony. That's what dissimulation is. Phony baloney. Phony. Person really don't like you. Okay? We have to be genuine about each other. The only way that you can be genuine about each other is that you've got to actually tell the person the wrong that they have done. And not doing so and ruin that spirit and coming up between you and him, that's pride on your behalf. You are a proud person. You think it's about you. Come on.
Abhor that which is evil.
What is that thing that's evil? The hatred, the pride. The scripture says you're supposed to hate that. Okay? That ain't supposed to be that ain't even supposed to be in you. You're supposed to hate the same way that if you got you got your sneakers dirty. Yeah, I hate that. I got this dirt all over my sneakers. Or sisters, you got the nice skirt. You got the soil all over your skirt. You hate that. Well, you're supposed to hate the fact that it's something that you got about yourself that you don't like. You're supposed to hate that. You're supposed to abhor that. That's evil right there, to be like that. You're supposed to hate that thing. Go ahead.
Cling to that which is good.
What is that which is good? Correcting your brother, loving your people, and resisting the temptation to go off. Okay? And the fact that the Most High in our spirit does what? Lead and guide us to what we should be doing. Okay? And also that we have the ability to answer the door that's knocking, to answer the Most High that's coming into our mind, leading, guiding, and telling us. We're supposed to love that we have the ability to do that. And so when you notice that you got the ability to do that, you got to, latch on to that, and then you have to keep doing it. Because that's what's going to help build your family. That's what's going to help build your house, your children. Okay? It doesn't happen overnight. Okay? It's going to build the congregation and the bodies around you. It's going to build the brothers and the men around you. Because when you teach men to respond like that, they're going to grow. That man, his family going to thrive. Because these are the ways of the Lord. This ain't just about, well, I can teach the scriptures. Yeah, brother, you can teach the scriptures. But you're a horrible example. You're an example that's unprofitable to you. The scripture said there is one that teaches many, but yet is unprofitable to himself. Terrible. Come on.
Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
There it is. Be kindly affectionate. The only way that you can get over that, and can people fall? Here's a question. Can people fall in and out of love? Let me get somebody on conference. Can somebody fall in and out of love? Somebody on conference.
I would say no. I think it's a personal choice.
You said no. That's a personal choice. Okay. Somebody else. Can you fall in and out of love?
Yes.
Okay. One no and one yes. Can you fall in and out of love? One more. Break the tie.
Yes.
Yes. So we got two yes and one no. Okay, and I'm going to give what I know. The answer is, of course you can. Of course you can fall in and out of love. Okay? And I'm going to show you how. Get the book of Matthew, the 18th chapter. And verse 15.
Matthew chapter 18 and verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Now we're going to put this into real life. When somebody trespasses against thee, remember, we all come from the hardened streets. Okay? So now, I want you to remember that Romans 12 and 10. Okay? Let's get this. Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and verse 10.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another.
Come on.
And shall hate one another.
Verse 12.
And because iniquity shall abound,
Sin shall abound. Come on.
the love of many shall wax cold.
The love of many shall wax cold. So when people go against us and they offend us and they break the laws, man, we don't like that. Man, we be mad. I don't like that. That's the watered down version. I hate that. That's the truth. Okay? That's the truth. So now go back to Matthew 18.
Back to Matthew chapter 18 and verse 15.
Slow it down. Go ahead.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against
He waxed cold. Okay? And he did something that you don't like and you hate it. You don't want to go as far as to say, I hate him, because you know what? You don't want to be known that's how you really feel. But you don't like it. It's like you hate it. And we be willing to do what? Not even deal with a person no more. You're like, man, I'm done. You would say that, I'm done. We be wanting to find ways to get rid of this person. Discreetly. I know I can't, I got to keep fellowship. I don't want to deal with him no more. I'm done. I wish he stopped calling. I wish he stopped coming around. Because we don't like what he did. Okay? The Lord said that you should love him. But how do you really feel? I don't want to deal with him no more. See, that pride is in us. I don't want to deal with him no more. The Most High is showing us the ways on how to come back and love him, though. Go ahead.
Go and tell.
Do what?
Go and tell.
Uh-oh. Go and tell him. Stop before you move on. Go and tell him. So you got to go and say something. Now, the man's got a woman. There's a man and woman. The man's got a woman. The woman made him mad as hell, right? He wanted to do away with him. Yo, I'm gonna put you away. I'm gonna be done with you. He might not even say that to her, but he feels that. He's like, oh, I hate that. Okay, you got big feet anyway. He go off in his mind. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Then he might find little things, some unclean about her. The bathroom stink. He find anything to turn him on. Okay? He straight hate it. He don't like it. Right? Okay? You staying with me, right? But 2 days later, that's the same woman that he embraced. He forgave, and he got rid of all of that. He got rid of it all. But the man, he can't stand him. The man he can't stand. When I catch brothers doing that all the time, I let them have it. And y'all brothers that know me, y'all know I'm telling the truth. I better not catch one brother grudging against another brother. And you married, you ain't supposed to do it no way. But when you marry, I know I will call you on the phone and say, yo, didn't you forgive your wife? You forgave your wife, but you ain't dealt with that brother? You ain't called that brother? You don't love that brother no more? Get out of here with that. That woman that did way more than this brother did. Okay? You need to let that go. The problem that has to be solved is that part where I stopped you. Read that last few words again.
Go and tell him.
Go and tell him. See, a lot of us, we can express and we can vent to each other or to somebody else, but it's hard to just let that person that you mad. It's hard to find the right words to tell them. Maybe because they combative. Maybe because they argumentative. Maybe because they proud themselves. Well, you proud, they proud. But it's all about how you tell them. How should we tell them? Instead of going to get it, I'm just going to quote it. Scripture in Proverbs says, a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and pictures of silver. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what that means. So when you step to your brother, don't step to him, you still offended. You're supposed to step to him like I actually want you to hear me, and we're going to talk about some things that's not right, and then you got the scriptures to support. And pray that the Most High hear it and bring the spirit down, and y'all can resolve that matter situation. So that's why the scriptures say, go and tell that person. Okay? So you don't just stay on one end of the city, the brother on the other end of the city, or the sister on the other end of the city, and you at home, but you won't sit down and address them properly. See that? See, properly means the way that's not going to be offended. Maybe I need to go get some precept about apples of gold and pictures of silver. Get the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 25. Okay, Proverbs 25, and we'll start verse 9.
Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 9. The bad fights with thy neighbor himself.
You see that? So you're supposed to go and you're supposed to talk to your neighbor. It's between you and him, or her and her. But sisters do have, certain things where they got problems with each other. Okay? They have problems with each other. They don't like the way this sister did this. They don't like the way that woman said that. They don't like this, the way this was transacted. Any sister that's got a problem out of another sister, you have to start off by being an example on how to be a woman of the Lord, so that they can see. Even a woman of the Lord that can humble herself. Okay? Precepts to that. Remember, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. The greater you are, you say that you know this, right? You say you know the Most High. You pray to Him, you talk to Him, you worship Him. That makes you a great brother. That makes you a great sister in Israel. That means that the more you're supposed to have the ability to humble yourself. So now if you humble yourself, you hear that spirit knocking at the door, you open the door, that means you're supposed to have the ability to set what? A good example. So now you setting an example, that person's supposed to see how to follow. They're going to follow you again. Yeah, there's a misunderstanding between you and them. But I think that if you set the best example, they're going to feel that who's wrong? That they're wrong and not you. They're going to see their own pride and not your mistakes. Because they're going to see a flawless example where ain't no fault, iniquity, or flaw in your example. Because you're going about it the right way. You're coming out the scriptures. You have y'all's best interest, okay, at hand. And also, like Scripture in John say, that you speaking about the glory of the Most High. Okay? So come on, let's finish it.
And discover not a secret to another.
So there's nothing that we should be doing. We should not be talking about the problem with somebody else. Okay?
Least he that heard it put thee to shame.
At least the person that you take it to the right person. When they put you to shame, that means they actually correct you and tell you how you're wrong. And that happens. You ever took a situation to somebody and then they end up correcting you? They end up correcting you. Because it's like, oh, you got some fault in this. You and your feelings. Go ahead.
And my infamy turned out.
You know what that infamy is? Thy statue, thy greatness, thy name. What you known for. Your character, your spirit. You was a person that was promoted. You was a person that was known for something. Not no more. You was known for pride. Because I'm sitting here listening to you. You're supposed to handle this situation this way and that way. But now you appear to lack wisdom. Now where's your greatness at? You're a great person. You was. Not no more. This is a choice that we have to choose. Okay? Come on.
A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver.
So now it says, read it again.
A word fitly spoken.
A word fitly spoken. So now the reprover is sitting here telling the person whose infamy is being turned away. Okay? Because they're like, wait a minute, brother. You got this problem, you got that problem, you doing this and you doing that, and your behavior is like this, that, and the third. They're like, no, sister, no, brother. Oh, but a word fitly spoken is going to have the appearance of what? Apples of gold and pictures of silver. No? Okay? Come on.
As an earring of gold.
As an earring of gold.
And an ornament of fine gold.
And an ornament of fine gold. So now you got an earring, and now you got an ornament sitting upon a necklace. That makes it, that's a royal appearance right there. That's not no cheap, cheesy appearance. Come on.
So is a wise reprover.
So is a wise reprover. Come on.
Upon an obedient ear.
Right, so it's exalting us to be a wise reprover. Not somebody who just goes clamorously usurping authority and barking after somebody and doing what? Barking after somebody and correcting them any type of way. You can't be like that, all right? What do you say? Okay. Let's get let's go back to, because I want to stay with the point. The point is, can you fall in and out of love? I believe so. Okay, I've done it. That's how I know. You out of love when things ain't right. You're in love when things are right. And things are going to be right when you reprove that person. Because you're out of love. It happens. Anybody in a marriage, I'll be the guinea. I'll be the guinea pig for the brothers. I'll be the test tube sheep for the brothers. I put myself out there so you brothers don't have to let your wives know you fell out of love. You had to fall back in love. Okay, I'll step out there, but it's true. You're not in love when things are not right. You're making it happen. You're making it work. You don't like the fact. Okay, who likes pain? I don't like, nobody like to be hurt. So that's not love right there. And this is love that what? We keep His commandments. So when we're keeping the commandments, then we're in love. Okay, you're not keeping the commandments, then how is that love? All right. So now the thing is to get the person to stop offending. So now when they learn to grow to stop offending, okay, and they let that pride go and they humble themselves to walk and apply the word of the Most High, then that love remains. Yahushua said in St. John 15. Okay? Yahushua said it. So let's get that and then we're going to finish our point. Ain't that it, right? St. John 15? St. John 15 and verse 10.
St. John chapter 15 and verse 10.
Come on.
If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
What's the stipulation? Read it again.
If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my commandments. So what happens if you break them? You ain't going to abide in the love. Okay? You ain't going to abide. Can you repent? Yes. When you repent, you're back in love. Okay? So now, we've been through this before in the last class. So let's go back to Matthew 18. And we'll try and get to the point so we can go back.
Matthew chapter 18.
And the last precept.
And the last precept of 15. If he shall hear thee, thou art gained thy brother.
Right. If he heard you, you gained him. Y'all going to start growing again. You're going to be able to express and show that love. Then you're going to learn to offend less. So, okay, so y'all brothers on conference, y'all see that, right? What about the brother that was like, oh, I don't know if it's possible? You see that up? Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 10.
Back to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse
6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices.
Injurious practices. That means I'm intentionally. Injurious is I'm going to intentionally. It's like malice. I'm going to injure you. I'm going to say this on purpose. Okay? Read the next part.
Pride is hateful.
You see that? Pride is hateful. So when you deal like that, when you do things that you know a person don't like, the Lord said that's pride. All right? I'm going to respond in this way. I'm going to throw my hand up. Okay? A lot of women do that. They be proud in the house. You know, walking away, your flip-flops flopping, plop, 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 plop. The brother's like, wait a minute, come back. I'm trying to talk to you. And you plop, 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 plop. Pride. You know that you walking away, he don't like that. That's injurious. You hurting him. Okay? And brothers. He got some brothers, man, that do some Mickey Mouse stuff, immature stuff, Donald Duck. All right? You get some brothers that you know, hey, you mentally really ain't developing. You doing some stuff, man, you driving a woman crazy and nuts. You hurting that woman. Okay? The scriptures say don't do that. Injurious practices. That's pride right there. I don't care how she feel. Okay? The only one that can really talk to you is who? Nobody. You can't be like that. The Lord said that's pride. Come on.
Pride is hateful before Yahweh and men, and by both.
And by one who both commit iniquity. So a lot of times we thinking that the only person that we affect or we got a problem with is the person that we're dealing with. Do you hear what the Lord said? He said by both do one commit iniquity. So it's not just it's not just the person that you know that you have a problem with, but it's the Most High. So when we have a problem with a brother or sister of our nation, we have to resolve that problem because the Lord is looking at us. The Lord is looking at us like, wait a minute, you cannot just destroy that person. See, the Lord is trying to change us while we're trying to change who? We're trying to change who? The Lord is trying to change us while we're trying to change who? I'm going to give the victim off conference. Jamie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So here's the question. The scriptures say pride is hateful before God and man. So while the Most High is trying to change us, we're trying to change who?
The next person.
The next person. Okay. Who agrees with him?
I do.
You do? That's one. Somebody else.
I do as well. We're trying to change each other.
Okay. And one more.
I agree.
Huh?
I said, Colin, I agree, brother. We're trying to change someone else.
Okay, so now I want us to get Philippians chapter 2. And verse 12.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Wherefore, my brethren, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation.
Do what?
Work out your own salvation.
The Bible says work out your own salvation. So while the Most High is trying to change us, we should be trying to change us. You can't change no man. Work out your own salvation. Go ahead.
With fear and trembling.
Get the book of Romans, chapter 14. This is why we be so mad at each other. We need to focus on us. You need to focus on yourself. Now, I understand that we're trying to help each other, but the only thing that you can do is give them the scriptures and make sure that you deliver it a certain way. But taking things personal and getting mad is pride. It's because we have to realize that the change that happens in the mind state of man is a spiritual thing that has to come from the Most High. Romans 14 and the latter precept of verse 5.
Romans 14 and verse 5, last precept. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Okay? So now, let's get this. 1 Corinthians 3. In verse 6.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 6. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahweh gave the increase.
So I planted, Apollos watered. Okay? I planted, Apollos watered is what Paul said. But it was up to the Most High. It was up to the Most High. The Most High gave the increase. So while this process is happening, we got to come down out of our emotions. We got to stop interjecting the way we feel into a situation that we're trying to see somebody transform in front of us, and it's not working. It's not working. It doesn't work like that. Okay? I have planted, Apollos watered, the Most High gave the increase. Always remember that. I don't want us to back down from our efforts. What the Most High wants us to do is stop being emotional pertaining to it. Hold this, we're going to come back and finish this. Get the book of Galatians, the 6th chapter and the 1st verse. Because in doing so, we're bringing out that spirit that's, that displaying, it makes others question whether you are a son of the Most High, whether you're the children of the Most High. Because when they see that you're dealing with them like that, they're like, wait a minute. Now, they could be wrong, but they're still like, wait a minute, this is not how I'm supposed to get dealt with. They expect something else. They expect truth and grace from you, the same thing that Christ gave to us. Now, are they dead in the water? Yeah, they dead in the water. What's in the water? A shark. They're like, I'm supposed to get eaten by a shark. I understand that I'm in the water, but why are you out here? Galatians 6 and 1.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, Ye which are spiritual, restore such an one is a spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
See that? So you have to be spiritual. The one that's spiritual, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. Considering yourself, that means, hey, examining yourself. Making sure that you're not, you're not doing what they're doing. What are they doing? Dealing in their emotions, taking it personal. Okay? You can't be like that. All right? Let's see. Verse 3.
Verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something.
If a man think himself to be something, a person that thinks themselves to be something is a person that's out of control. They're like, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be like this anyway. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad as hell. I got a right to be mad. Okay? No, you don't have a right to be mad. How can I control myself from doing this? That's why the scripture said, be ye angry and do what? Don't take it personal. That's what that means. Okay, you got angry. I'm going to correct myself. I'm going to humble myself. How do I humble myself? Because it ain't never been about you. You have to refrain yourself from that. So if a man think himself to be something, that means if he think himself to be something, he think he has the green light. He got the permission. That you can usurp authority like that. You do not have the authority to be angry. What happened with Moses? He got angry. He got angry. You don't have the permission to do that. Most High didn't give you the authority to be Lord over his heritage. Most High didn't give you the power to be like that, the authority to be like that. Okay? Okay, what is it up?
And to add to that, the Most High told Moses when he corrected him, he said, because you didn't sanctify me to the people. See, the Most High, that's what he all about. Making sure that the people understand that they have to serve the Most High and not man.
Right, you have to separate yourself from, separate the Lord from what you're doing. Moses didn't do that. Moses was in his emotions. You're like, wait a minute, did the Most High Moses give you the authority to deal with us like this? Most High didn't. Most High told him to go speak. Glorify the Most High. That would have showed long-suffering and patience. Moses took it upon himself to bring down that vexation and that anger. Shall I give you water out of the rock? Well, I say, wait a minute. Whose miracle is this? Who's performing this? Oh, now you? Okay. When he wanted to go into the land, the Lord told Moses, don't even speak of this thing no more. Don't even ask no more. That's not what we want. We don't want the Most High. We don't want to vex the Most High where the Lord is like, don't even ask me no more for certain things. Man, we walking in perilous times. And we also will be lovers of ourselves. That's pride right there. That's a dangerous thing to do. That's why I said if a man thinking himself to be something when he is what? Nothing. What is the nothing part? That you're not doing it, brother. You're not doing it. You're empty. He's deceiving himself. Okay, verse 4.
Verse 4. But let every man prove his own work.
See that? Let every man prove his own work. That means that you have to go through the way that you're going about certain things with a fine-tooth comb. You know what a fine-tooth comb does? Man, it'll grab them kinks and naps. If that hair is rolled up, man, that comb ain't going through that. You want to go through that with a fine-tooth comb until that comb is moving. So you got to prove yourself. Okay? Go ahead. Because it's hard for us to let another person tell you about you. All right, go ahead.
And then shall he have rejoicing in himself.
And then shall he have rejoicing in himself. Okay? A lot of us, we look for somebody else to approve us. Somebody else to pat us on the back. But to be able to go over yourself, Okay. And all right. And based on the scriptures that come out, especially what's being said. So when you know that this is what you're doing, okay, and then you'll be like, all right, I'm getting that right. I'm first answering the door in my mind that's telling me I can't deal like that. I'm secondly reproving my brothers or sisters, when things are going wrong, so I don't feel a certain way. Okay, I'm doing that. And thirdly, when I'm talking to them and I got to deal with them, I got to make sure that I use some good words and stuff like that. I'm coming in the spirit of the Most High. I'm not taking it personal. I'm doing that. Okay? So at that point, I'm not dealing in pride. I'm going to be able to rejoice. I'm going to be able to congratulate myself because I'm actually fighting a good fight. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And at the end of it, you're going to see the love and expression on your brother's face when he see that, okay, this person actually restored me. This person came to help me. They didn't come, to stick that knife in me like I was used to in the streets. This person ain't coming like that. This person, they came respectfully, and coached me off of that ledge, because I was going to destroy myself with how I was thinking, how I was feeling, what I was doing wrong. This person was able to help me. Then that person going to be able to, that person going to, be able to acknowledge that you did some work for them. But it was the Most High that's going to be able to give them the spirit to be subject to you because you did it in a way that was approved by the Most High. Okay? So now let's lose that. And where was we at?
We was in 1 Corinthians chapter 3.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians. Work with me. 1 Corinthians 3, 1, yeah.
Back to 1 Corinthians chapter 3.
Mm-hmm. 3 and verse 7.
In verse 7.
Come on.
So then,
right. Neither is it he that planted anything. So while we're trying to, change, the Most High trying to change us. When we're trying to change the next person, sorry, it doesn't work like that. So a lot of brothers getting the answers wrong, and you see, according to the scriptures, the problem. And it's natural. It happens. That's why we're here to learn. And what you're being taught is true. It's just how you look at it. It's going to stop us from being agitated by the actions of a person, and now you got to try to motionless and without you being in your feelings, tell the person what's right and what's wrong and be a perfect example, because it is, according to Philippians 2 and 12, that you're trying to work out your own salvation. So by you trying to work out your salvation and please the Most High, you're not giving place to Satan by doing so. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to tell them for their good. Okay, come on.
Neither he that watered.
Neither he that watered. So now you spoke the word of the Most High. Somebody else came and reassured it. They watered it to the same person. Go ahead.
But
it was the Most High that made the person change, okay? So now let's go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 10.
Back to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 8.
Do we read 8? I'll get it. Pride is hateful before the Lord and man, and by both the one commit iniquity. So we sinning against both parties, okay? Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is what? Translated from one people to another. So why do we lose our kingdom? Because of pride. Because we went about to do things our way. So now we're serving captivity in a strange land, okay, and in a strange country under another people, getting our behinds handed to us. And now it's to the point to where it's so bad to where we've even turned on each other. But remember, the Most High is working a new thing, and He's given us the spirit to turn from this. So all the assemblies of Israel that's repenting in Christ, hey, man, we got to turn from it. We can't be the same type of thing that got us. got our kingdom taken, got us put into bolts and shackles and chains and links and so on and so on. We can't be like that. We got to be the children of the Most High by doing what? Planting and watering and letting the Most High do the increase. And there's no room for us being in our emotions. Scripture said they that are Christ have crucified the affection and lust thereof. Okay? The Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, let Jamie get it. The Spirit of the Most High, it don't desire to be like that. It doesn't desire to do that. Okay? So let's get this to prove that thing. Get the book of James. Is that it? James, let's see. Yeah, James chapter 4 and 5.
James 4 and verse 5.
Right, so what this precept going to tell you, it's going to tell you that the Spirit of the Most High, that's inside you, it doesn't desire to do the things that we do. It doesn't desire to hate your brother. It doesn't desire to be angry with your neighbor. It doesn't desire to hate your sister. It doesn't want you to fight with your sister, with your people. The Spirit of the Most High is not desirous. It's even the Spirit of the Most High that's inside of women. That Spirit of the Most High is not telling you you got your fucking dress on. That means I don't give a damn about him. You got your fucking flip-flops on. Excuse the language, but at home, man, y'all get bold with each other. And you just frankly don't care. The Spirit of the Most High, that's not the Spirit of the Most High. That's the spirit of pride. The Spirit of the Most High is not about you and another woman fussing and fighting. Sisters not getting along. Brothers not getting along. The Spirit of the Most High is not about striving. The Spirit of the Most High is about understanding what the will of the Most High is, which is, hey, a day-by-day process that causes us to change as a person and keep the commandments of the Most High through faith in who? Yahushua. Well, we got to have faith in Yahushua. That means we have to believe. Even when the Most High don't bless us and shower us with gifts and presents and a high-paying job and a lavish house and a new car. Okay? Yahushua, man, he didn't have a thoroughbred horse that he rode in on. He had a mule. You know how slow a mule is? Okay? He wasn't like that. Sometimes he stayed away from home. He said the Son of Man don't even have a house. Foxes have holes and the net birds have nets. But the Son of Man don't have a place to lay his head. So faith in Yahushua, man, ain't necessarily going to mean that you're going to have financial wealth. So that garbage in Christianity is not the spirit of the Bible. That's the spirit of the world. That comes from the lust of the world. So everybody that's fighting over money, you have the spirit of pride. And not the Spirit of the Most High. Come on. James 4 and 5.
James chapter 4, verse 5. Do ye think that the Scripture saith in vain? The Spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy. The Spirit that dwelleth in us is not lusting after something that's wrong. It lusts enviously. Oh, you know what envy is? Envy is when you want to be like something. The Spirit of the Most High don't want to be argumentative. The Spirit of the Most High is not lusting after it. So if you got that spirit in you to where you a static addict, about it, you want to slap a hoe? Some brothers like, I will slap you, B-I-T-C-H. Nigga, I'll help you up. You fighting. You disagreeing. You arguing. That's not the Spirit of the Most High. The Most High don't get down like that. The Spirit of the Most High, that's not the Spirit of the Most High. It's not looking back. It's not lusting after the old person. We ain't supposed to be fighting. Oh, I knock him out. I knock her out. Oh, this nigga, no. The Spirit of the Most High ain't. The Scripture say the servants of the Lord shall not even strive. Okay? We ain't even supposed to be striving with each other. Because only by pride come what? Contention. So if you're going to contend back and forth, guess what? There's pride. Most people that know me, listen, the Scriptures is always right. So if you get into a situation to where it's out of order, I will be 15 seconds into our conversation and be like, okay, well, is this going to be pride?
30 seconds, though, this is pride. What makes it pride? Because it jumped out of order. How did it jump out of order? First, you interrupted me. Second, you were slow to speak and swift to hear. Okay. Thirdly, what? You didn't come out the scriptures. Fourthly, you came out of your emotions. That's how you know this is strife and this ain't going nowhere. So now, let's get back and do things decently in order. And anybody that don't want to be in order is devilish. Okay? So let's go back. Verse 9. Ecclesiastes 10 and 9.
Verse 9.
The host has joined the conference.
Okay, so now let's get Ecclesiastes 10 and 9.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 9.
So remember, we're coming from James 4 and 5 concerning the Spirit of the Most High. The Spirit of the Most High is not, it's not envious. It does not want to do what we do as people. Come on.
Why is earth and ashes proud?
I don't know. Why is earth and ashes proud? Why are we proud? We're only earth and ashes. The reason why it's saying, why is earth and ashes proud, is because the Most High has the ability to do what with our frame? Most High has the ability to do what? Yeah, you ever heard somebody say, turn your little behind out the frame, right? The Most High has the ability, man, to do that. So let's get that in Psalms 104. Psalms 103. Okay, Psalms 103 and verse 14. Now start at verse 13.
Psalms 103 and verse 13. Like as a father pitied his children.
So as a father pitied his children, when it's talking about pitied his children, that means when it comes to disciplining the son, I know that those licks hurt, and father, he knows how to have a certain restraint. Yes, and he hit me with all his might. He hit me beat. No, he's holding back. Because he knows that you're a boy and he's a man. Come on.
So the Lord pitieth them that fear him.
So the Lord, he does pity you that fear him. That don't mean that he ain't going to chasten you. That don't mean that he ain't going to chasten you, whoop on you, take you through hell and high water, demote you, put you into a little stress and try temptation. Okay? Come on.
For he knows our frame.
He knows your frame. He knows your body. Okay? Come on. He knows your lungs. Okay? Some of you can't breathe. But he don't zap all the breath away. He sometimes make it hard for you to breathe. Okay? Sometimes he make your belly hurt. He knows your frame. He put enough pressure because he's trying to get into your head and ask you, why is my belly hurting? Okay? He knows your frame. He knows your back. He knows your lower back pain. You walk around, oh, my back hurt. Okay? Because he knows your frame. What else do you hurt? Your ankles hurt. Your feet hurt. Your head hurt. Oh, my head is killing me. Oh, he don't make your head hurt so much that it explodes or falls off. He applies enough pressure so you can come back and you can start praying, oh, Lord, I don't want to do that no more. And any person that's not praying because you're going through that and you're not relating the pains and sufferings that you're going through unto the judgment of the Lord said, I wound. So why are we hurting? Because the Most High is wounding us. It ain't a person that's in the truth that's not going through some type of pain. You all go through some type of agony. I wish I had agony. Okay? You go through a mental agony or you go through a physical agony. Your flesh, he knows your frame inside and out. And you going through that pain, which is a thorn in the flesh to keep you humble. The Most High wants you asking him, what can I do better? The fool ain't saying nothing. You know what the fool gonna do? There was a king that was a fool. Asa. A-S-A. Look it up. I ain't gonna go to it. Most High afflicted him. Okay? Afflicted him, and instead of turning to the Lord and asking the Most High why, he kept going to the physician. He kept going to the doctor. That's why the Most High never healed him. He ended up dying. Most High killed him. So whenever we have issues, the Most High know our frame. He know our organs. Oh, I got this wrong with me. I got that wrong with me. But we won't seek the Lord. Okay? Come on, the Lord, for he knoweth our frame.
He remembered that we are dust.
He remembered that we are dust. So he ain't gonna, the Most High don't want to totally just blow upon you, man. You can wipe some dust and it's gone. It's gone for how long? Forever. Okay? So now, read it next. Now read verses, verse 16.
Verse 16. For the wind passeth over, and it is gone.
For the wind passed over, and it is gone. Same thing. Okay? Let's lose it so we don't get lost. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 10. 10 and verse 9.
Back to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes cry?
I don't know. So if the Most High has the ability to blow the wind over us and we be gone, why are we pride? Why are we dealing in pride? Why are we dealing in such anger, okay, with our people? Why is earth and ashes proud? So when we're walking around saying that we're Israel and we the Most High's chosen people, we need to be acting like it. Okay? We don't need to be faking it. Hey, time out. We don't need no more bad examples. Okay? We need the children of the Most High to rise up. Take your number. Rise up. And prove, first of all, to yourself that you can do it. Okay? We be trying to man please and please to somebody else. Prove to yourself. Stop whoring. Stop whoremongering. Stop lying. Stop fighting. Stop arguing. Stop striving. Stop smoking and doing drugs. Okay? And stop committing adultery. Stop hating. Stop fornicating. Stop defying the Sabbath day. Stop cross-dressing. Start praying. Start forgiving. Continue to humble yourself. Fellowship. You know what? Fellowship is the very thing that's supposed to help save us. Okay? Get the book of 1 John. The 1 John chapter 3, 5. First John 1. Okay, 1 John chapter 1 and verse 3.
1 John chapter 1 and verse 3. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you.
That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you. Come on.
That ye also may have fellowship with us.
So we look for brothers of fellowship with us. All right? Come on. And truly,
our fellowship is with the Father.
How do you know our fellowship is with the Father? Because we preaching, okay, the ascended Yahushua of Nazareth, okay, and the keeping of the commandments through faith in him that the Most High gave to him according to the Bible, that all that would believe that would come to life and that they would change and put off the flesh, okay, and put on immortality even in these times. You don't have to wait for Yahushua to come to change. Because if Yahushua came and you have not changed, then you're going to have a problem, okay? And it ain't for me to tell you, but it's for the Most High to tell you. You will have a problem, okay? So our fellowship is with the Father. Come on.
And with his son, Yahushua.
And with his son, Yahushua Mashiach. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And these things write we unto you, that your joy may be full.
So the stuff that's written in the scriptures, they're supposed to make you happy, not sad. Come on.
This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you.
So the thing that John is writing, they got it from Yahushua, and they wrote it down, and now they bring it out to us that
our God is light.
That the Most High is light. Okay? Things that we can see. Okay? Things that are right. Things that are about the law. Come on.
And in him is no darkness at all.
And in him there was no wickedness. Okay? There is no wickedness in the Most High. There is no wickedness in Yahushua. Verse 6.
If we say that we have fellowship with him.
So a lot of people, they say they have fellowship with the Most High and Yahushua. Go ahead.
And walk in darkness.
And they do the things that were mentioned. So when we're dealing with pride now, fussing and fighting and arguing with each other, upset and disappointed and striving and going two different ways, you know, we say that we with the Most High in Christ, but walk in darkness,
we lie.
We're lying. And it's nobody's fault but who? It's nobody's fault but ours that we're in the condition that we're in. Okay? The scriptures say that we ought not to do the things. Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away. The scriptures say you're not to do the things that he hates. What does the Most High hate? The Most High hates for us to be at odds with each other. Why is that? Because every kingdom that is divided against itself shall fall. So if we are a body and a congregation, okay, and a brotherhood and a sisterhood, but yet we divided against each other through pride, how we gonna grow? We like to go back through the 60s and say how black power and how Israel stood together and how they so on and so forth. But guess what? The Most High has raised us up to be even more powerful than they were. This time He's given us His commandments so that we're not even bamboozled by the world that's oppressing us and trying to put us to sleep and even murder and put us to death through all different type of poisons and everything else. So we're the ones that the Most High is supposed to work wonders and miracles through. We are the ones. Get the book of Psalms, the 51st chapter. We are these people. But yet and still we deny that power thereof when we do what? When we continue to sin. And that's why you can't do that, because the Most High ain't going to work with us if we're going to continue to sin. The Most High ain't going to perform his works. Psalms, not 51, but Psalms 50. Psalms 50 and verse 'We get to the point. Psalms 50, y'all can read. I'm going to quote it, but I'm going to get to the point. Psalms 50, verses 16 through 21. We might as well get it.
Psalms 50 in verse 16. But unto the wicked, God said.
Wait a second. Let's go up a little bit. Verse 14. Psalms 50 and 14. Sorry.
Verse 14. Offer unto God thanksgiving.
Offer unto the Most High thanksgiving. That means that, it ain't talking about the wicked holiday of Thanksgiving. We all know that. That means we're supposed to be grateful that the Most High is calling us into this fellowship of his Son, which is the fellowship of the Spirit. Okay?
And pay thy vows.
And pay thy vows. What are you vowing to the Most High? That you're going to do the right thing, You're going to keep his commandments. That the two greatest commandments, you're going to love the Most High without strings attached. You're going to do whatever he say. And what's the second one? I'm going to love my neighbor as I love myself. Okay? That means, and who also is your neighbor? Your wife, okay? Your children. I'm going to love it. I ain't going to be proud. I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to do the work. Okay? I'm going to keep that vow. Come on.
Unto the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble.
The Lord said, call upon him in the day of trouble.
I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glory.
That's what the Lord said. That's what the Lord said. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify him. Okay?
But unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes?
So now we know the wicked. You got the wicked of Israel, but you also got the wicked nations. So what did they do? They have taken the statutes. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Come on.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth. Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. So that's how Esau feels. He hated to be instructed, and he take the words of the Bible, and he did what with them? And he threw them words behind him. Come on. When thou sawest a thief.
When thou sawest a thief, what is a thief? Kidnappers, manslayers. Come on.
Then thou consentest with him.
Right, so the African and Arabs, they were part of the slavery too, slave trade too, with buying the children of Israel for slaves. But they were our brothers, so they consented with them. Come on. And has been partaker with adulterers, verse 19.
Thou givest thy mouth to eat, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
Why? By disrespecting thy own brother. Verse 20 is going to tell you.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Right, because Esau and Jacob were brothers. Our point is coming up. Verse 21.
These things hast thou done, and I kept silent.
So the Lord sat back and he let all of these things happen. Therefore, all the nations think that the Most High look like them. A European got a white God. Chinese got a Chinese God. Arab got an Arab God. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High sat back and he was silent. Read.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as myself. But I will reprove.
Here's our part. The Lord said, I'm going to reprove you. Here's our part. Come on.
And set them in order before thy eyes.
The Most High said he's going to set us in order before our eyes. So the Most High is raising us up to set us in order. How are we going to be in order if we still not forgiving the same ones that sit across from us in class? The same ones that live with us. But we envious, we want to be like Keisha Cole, you women. You men still looking like the R&B rapper. Y'all crazy and foolish at the same time. Do you not know that the Most High is going to replace you? Anybody that's not getting this thing right is going to be replaced. Christ said the axe is laid to the root of the trees. He's not playing. Israel is going to be set in order with or without us. And in order means order, not full of pride. Okay? So let's lose this and let's go back to 1 John 1. Okay? 1 John 1 and verse 6.
Back to 1 John chapter 1 and verse 6. If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. But if we walk in the light, if he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yahweh, his Son, cleanses us from all sin.
So you know the blood of Christ, the life of Christ is going to cleanse us through how? Through that fellowship. Because what's going to happen is you are going to learn the do's and the don'ts on what you should do, on how you should behave, on what you should say, on what you and what you shouldn't say, and how you should live. Okay, men, you're gonna learn how to deal with your wife, Okay? You're gonna learn how to deal with another brother. You're gonna learn how to deal with your children. You're gonna learn to get up and go and work. You're gonna purge. You're gonna be purged from that in fellowship. You're gonna be purged. No, brother, don't say that. You're gonna learn what to say. You're gonna learn what to say, what to do. Okay? You're gonna learn quite a bit. You women, you're gonna learn how to love your husbands. Any person that's like, oh, you're in my business, guess what? Read verse 7 again.
Verse 7. But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yahushua, his son, cleanses us from all sin.
Right, so now, verse 8.
Verse 8. If we say that we have no sin,
so if we say, I don't need a fellowship,
we deceive ourselves.
You only deceiving yourself. Say, oh, I don't need that. I'm not doing something. I don't need no help. There's nothing you can show me. I hear you, but we need constant cleansing. We need constant fellowship. Rain, snow, sleet, or shine. Israel, we're trying to build. We have these classes every other day. Tuesday, Thursday on the Sabbath. 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 It's been like this for years. Okay? Just because you brothers and sisters on conference or phone call away, this is going to be here. The only way it's not here is if maybe a high holy day or something, and then we're feasting. Or some personal reason. But other than that, it's residual. Let us help you build congregations where you live at so that you can fellowship and begin to do the same thing wherever you at. Because you need the fellowship of the Spirit. You need brothers correcting you. You don't need to be like, oh, I'm not doing nothing wrong, or I'm doing okay. I don't need that. Christ said that's what's going to cleanse you right there. Remember, one man has to plant. Somebody else has to water. The Most High is going to give the increase. So if no planting and watering is going on, how is the Most High going to increase you? He's just going to do it because you're reading. What's going to happen is you're going to be self-righteous. Remember the Ethiopian eunuch in the book of Acts? He said that he ain't going to know except some man guide him. He was just reading. He didn't understand about Yahushua when he reading Isaiah. He said, is this man speaking of himself or somebody else? Then Philip sat down with him, expounding and preached Yahushua to him. So any brother that's not fellowshipping, brother, you in jeopardy of becoming self-righteous. Nobody is correcting you. Your wife is in jeopardy of becoming self-righteous. Nobody is correct. Who's over you? Who do you have who do you have to give account of? Who's going to purge you from your own sin, from your own thoughts, from your own wickedness? And if ain't nobody there, then the blood of Christ ain't cleansing you. The blood of Christ is his life. Somebody got to redirect and say, no, but walk this way. This is what Christ is. This is the scriptures. And show you according to the word of the Most High. Okay, so lose that. Go back to Ecclesiastes 10.
Back to Ecclesiastes chapter 10.
And start verse.
In verse 9.
There is not. Please.
There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man.
There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. You know what a covetous man? A man that's by self. So I don't need that. That's what covetous. That means that you're only thinking about yourself. I don't need that. Okay, that's pride. I don't need that. You do need it, huh? Go ahead.
Well, such is one selling his own soul to sell.
Right. When you sell something, that means you're giving it up. Person I've asked, yo, man, why are you selling that? You should keep that. Oh, yo, man, why are you walking away? I mean, you walk away from the Most High when you're a covetous person. Okay? Go ahead.
Because while he lived, he cast it away his mouth.
In other words, when he had an opportunity, he said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. You have an opportunity to do what? Humble yourself. Okay? You had an opportunity to act right. Just like Uriah told Ezra, okay, that when repentance was offered unto them, they despised it, okay, and said about the Most High that He is not. And many people don't really realize when you say about the Most High that He is not, that doesn't mean that you're saying that God don't exist. You're saying that not going to take what you're doing serious. That the Most High is not going to maybe punish you or judge you for what you're doing. The Most High is going to punish and judge you for what you're doing. The Most High is going to correct you because the Lord got written in the Word, which the Lord said He cannot lie. How many sins are we going to get away with? Right. The Lord said none. Not one sin are we going to get away with. He said, for one thou shalt not go unpunished. So for every action of pride that we walk in, we got to give an account of. But for you women, for every fight that you have with your husbands, the Lord. That's right. I said you women. For every fight you have with your husband, the Lord gonna get you. You just don't see it yet. Husbands, for every stubbornness and not dealing right with your house and with your wife, the Most High gonna get, because He said you ain't gonna get away with one. You men, for every wickedness that you deal with your brother and you hate your brother and you don't correct him, the Lord gonna get you. You dealing in pride, He gonna get you. Everyone. The thing is, the way that you try and win in this truth is, you don't want to give the Most High a reason to shut the door on you. You don't want to give the Most High a reason to tell you no. So how do you do that? Things like this, by learning. Because you have a choice. That's why you have a choice. You have a choice to resolve the situation and say, you know what, let me deal with my brother. And then when you do, everything is made right. So now the next time something come up, okay, then you deal with it. You don't, like the Lord said in Psalms 50, the wicked, what did the wicked do? The wicked took the precepts and cast it behind him. I ain't got to worry about that. I ain't going to do that. I'm going to do my own thing. That's a selfish person. You're going to have to give an account of all of that. And you have no say-so in the consequences. Lord, just make me sneeze. I'm going to sneeze about 5 times. I don't like that. I'm going to sneeze about 5 times, and that's the judgment. No. The Lord going to hit you where it hurts. Most High know you take pride in you take pride in something. You really like something. Whatever you like, that's where your heart is. Most High gonna hurt. He gonna hurt that. The thing that you fear, the Most High will make that. He'll make your fears a reality. Okay, come on.
Because while He lived, He casted away His bodies. The physician cut it off a long disease. And He gave it to David, a king tomorrow shall die. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms.
Right. That means that your flesh seeing corruption. Okay. Your flesh seeing corruption. All right. Go ahead.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from God.
So we don't realize that when we dealing with this spirit of conflict with one another, Most High said that we departed from Him. Because the Most High, He didn't create us to destroy each other. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High. Go ahead.
And his heart is turned away from His name.
That means the Most High, Yahushua made us. He said our heart is turned from Him. But sometimes we don't seem to think like that when we be mad at each other. We mad at each other. We talk to each other bad. We say things bad. Get the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Most High say that you dealing away from me. You're not in me the way that you think you are. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 6.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 6. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his word.
So now, if we have the spirit of wisdom inside of us, then we're going to have that spirit of love. Okay? And the scriptures say that it's not going to acquit a blasphemer. Okay? What is a blasphemer? A blasphemer is somebody that speaks evil about the way of the Most High. That's what blaspheming is. The Most High says to do this way, like the Most High is telling us to do things a certain way and handle our people a certain way, right? But when you speaking evil and you saying, no, that's not going to work, that's a form of blasphemy because you doubt in the power of the Most High. The scriptures say the Most High is not going to find you innocent for doing that. Okay? Come on.
For God is witness of his reign.
For who was witness that you did that? The Most High is witness that you did that. Come on.
And a true beholder of his heart.
The Lord said he is the true beholder of your heart. He's the true person that sees what type of person you are. And the way that the Most High sees, we don't see. See, men could fool us. The outward appearance of the flesh, man, they throw deception. But the true beholder of the heart is the Most High. Okay? Go ahead.
And a hearer of his tongue.
And a hearer of his tongue. The Most High hears what we say about each other.
For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice.
The Most High knows all of our voices. The Most High knows the voice of each and every last person that's on conference call. Okay? The Most High knows the voice of each and every last individual inside of the houses, the members of the families that's on conference, that's in the classes. The Most High knows all of your voice. It doesn't matter, if you could be in a crowd. The Most High can discern the difference between person to person to person. And he knows who's saying what and what you're saying, and he's not confused, even if you say it at a low voice, okay, a tone that nobody else is recognizing. He knows that. You can hide it from somebody else, but you can't hide it from him. The Most High will get you for that. That's pride, because your heart has turned away from him because he told you don't do it. There's nobody going to get away with that. The Lord said if there be one stiff neck among the people, it is a marvel that he go unpunished. You can't marvel the Most High. There's no escape from it. So we have no choice, no alternative, no way to go but serve the Lord. When I figured that out, I said, well, man, I got to serve the Lord because, hey, there's nothing else to do, man. You can't mess with the Most High. You can't man up on the Most High. Most High will disintegrate us. The Most High will get us after death by pain. The smart person will invest in himself or herself and do the right thing. Okay, you have a question, huh?
I was going to say, even like that,
yeah. The Most High knows everything. Huh? So now, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 8.
Verse 8. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid.
So the unrighteous things would be what? Things that, there's an issue or conflict with your brother or sister or husband or wife or even parents. You got children that be speaking unrighteous things against their parents. You can't be hid, man. Most High said, you ain't hid. Okay, come on.
Neither shall vengeance when it punishes have violence.
Neither shall vengeance when it punishes. Okay. A lot of people are like, oh, this was an innocent. This person was innocent. They didn't have to die like that. The Lord said, yes, they did. They wasn't innocent. The Most High is just saying that right here that he's judging people for stuff that they say. And we'd be wondering why. Like remember in the scriptures, all the children that got killed because they did something to Elijah the prophet. Who on conference knows why the Most High killed the children and what they did to Elijah the prophet? Come on, brothers.
Because I don't know the exact location of the scripture, but it says, touch not my prophet and do them no harm.
Okay, 2 Kings. Okay, 2 Kings, the 2nd chapter. In verse 23.
2 Kings. And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up.
You see that? So they're telling Elisha, they said, listen, go up, thou bald head. They're making mockery of him because he had a bald head. Okay, go ahead.
Go up, thou bald head, and he turned back and looked at him in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, 40 and 2 children of them.
Right, so now all of a sudden, Most High put a spirit on 2 birds, 42 children. So you get 42 children together. We see 42 children together. That reminds us of what?
You know what you should have did before you did that to make sure that you got.
That reminds us of what?
Okay.
A school.
School.
I said, dang. Okay, conference call. You got to mute your phone. Okay. You see 42 children together, man, that reminds us of some type of field trip or some type of outing. Or, the brother said a gang, but okay, a bunch of kids together. Either way, but these are a bunch of children. But what they use their mouth and sinned against the Lord. They use their mouth and disrespect a man of the Lord. And because of that, the Most High killed them children. The Most High is in heaven. Okay? This brother is on the earth. The children are on the earth tormenting him, being disrespectful. So now what do you think is like when we cuss each other? See, we thinking that this is a game and ain't nobody playing but us. And we be wondering why our blessings are withheld and why we're not prospering. That's because we in sin and we deep in sin. The scripture said we say that we have not sinned and we make him a liar. Ain't nobody playing with us. We got to come out of that vibration of the world. And we got to step into these scriptures, and we got to take this thing, man, and meet this head on and say, listen, I'm guilty of all of this. Let me humble myself. If you're a great person or you want to be a great person and you want to be better, then you need to confess and forsake these sins that the Most High is telling us. That spirit of pride, which is not of the Father but of the world. Okay? Go ahead, what you got?
Just to add, like we dealt earlier with precepts dealing with injurious practices, doing things with the intent to harm or hurt each other's feelings. And the brother was just bringing up the point with these children that the Most High killed them because they was being disrespectful. And how they was dealing with the injurious practice. They had the intent to try to hurt Elisha's feelings. It goes hand in hand. They had pride on them. They was wicked kids. See? But it was be dealing like that. And they dealt in pride, but they had parents that told them what to do and what not to do. They chose to do what they wanted. Likewise with us. The Most High killed them for words. See? We walk around every day using words. And we take it like the Most High is not going to do something about it.
Right, like it ain't no problem.
Like it ain't no problem.
Ain't no thing. I can say what I want to say. Women saying what they want to say to their husbands. Husbands saying what they want to say to their women. Sisters saying whatever they want to say to other sisters or about other sisters. Men saying whatever they want to say about other men. Can't do that. We're not even supposed to bring relevant accusations against each other. We can't. That's sinning with our mouth, man. That is great pride right there. And the Lord said He has always resisted proud. Most High ain't never been with us in sin. Okay, I'm not saying that the Most High, the Most High is not consenting to that which is sinful to Him. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's go back.
Back to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination.
So there, man, that shows you that wonders why sometimes Israel you can't stop. Okay, you can't stop from what you're saying. Once you get on a roll, you just be mad, angry, and upset. That pride, that anger, that frustration, and you just live like that. It says, "He that have it." So that's the evidence that you're a proud person, that you got that spirit of pride. You pouring out things that's wicked in the sight of the Most High. An abomination meaning a wicked thing. Okay? The latter part, read the next part.
And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities.
You know what some of the strange calamities are? Evictions. Most High bring eviction upon you. Most High bring a loss of job. You get laid off. You think that something is wrong with the people. You blame it on them. But the truth is, you can't rule your spirit. You said something that was out of order, saying how you're not going to let the people talk to you like this and that. You get bad news. You get judgment in the mail. You know what a lot of men fear? They fear that letter in the mail from the State Department. Or from, what is that, what do they call it, Division of Family Services. You hate that, man. That's a whole game changer. How do I know? I've been through that. Brother, you can't, when you deal with a man of the Lord, brother, you're not armed enough. It's only pride to try and even go against a man of the Lord. I've been through that, brother. I know. That family service letter in the mail, brother, that'll destroy your whole weekend. And they send it on the weekend, too. You trying to rest, observe the Sabbath, and you get that. You're like, oh, my goodness, what is this? Most High send that strange. You're like, oh, God, why? You strange calamity. Most High hit you where it hurts. Understand? They like ravish with no respect. They go in your job that you committed, that you need, and take your money and do this. Most High brought me through that. I praise Him, but He took me through it to give me some understanding. That's how I know other brothers, when you ain't right, the Most High, man, the Most High will bring these calamities to you, and it'll feel like you being destroyed, brother. All the wickedness that you dealt with in these relationships, that stuff is for you to stop. That ain't for you to keep on doing it. Oh, I'm going to try it again until I get it right. You're a fool, is what you are. And He's going to destroy you some more. You're supposed to take your life. Be satisfied with your life. Okay? Because the Most High definitely is not short-stopping when it comes to the calamities and the judgments for the pride and arrogancy that we be speaking and dealing in. And Lord will bring that old stuff back. Like, oh, wait a minute, where did He get that from? He bring that old stuff back because you're dealing in new sin. You deal in a new sin. Okay? So it says, in strange calamities, and what else?
And overthrew them utterly.
And overthrew them utterly. That's what the Most High be doing. Okay? So we're going to, ain't got too much longer. I'll get this one more precept so that we could be finished. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18. You know, I want the one about blowing the spark. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 28. And it's a lot here that's dealing with pride. We're going to get to the point. Ecclesiasticus 18 and verse, 28, I'm sorry. Ecclesiasticus chapter 28.
Yeah, 12.
Mm-hmm. I'll get it. I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. The ignorance that we're supposed to, when you wink, that means you let something go by. Abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife. So remember, we're not even supposed to, chase each other down for every wrong, for every cause. We're supposed to abstain from it. We're supposed to be trying to quench it. We're supposed to be trying to avoid it. We want our sins to diminish. That's the reason why. Because a furious man will do what? He will kindle. You know what kindle? Kindle means to start. It's like going through the house and taking a lighter or a match and striking the curtains. You just kindling the fire with what you're doing. Now the whole house is engulfed in flames. Because what type of person? And we don't claim to be furious. We be claiming to be righteous. That can't happen. Because all the time, the Most High is knocking at the door and saying, hey, let me in. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help things change. But sometimes we get mad because we get so irritated with what somebody else is doing. When, first of all, we need to work on the number one issue and problem, which is our own self-anger. When we can rule and control ourselves, then we can see how to fix others. That's why Yahweh Shai, the Christ said, do what? He said, why behold the mote in your brother's eye and you got a beam in your own? You out of control, bro. You out of control, sis. You're trying to lead and guide somebody else, but you got your own errant fault that you can't even see. Verse 9. A sinful man disquieted friends. So y'all started off friends, but now you coming in and you bringing in a situation or issue. And make a debate among them that be at peace. Okay? As the matter of the fire is, so it burneth. And as a man's strength is, so is his wrath. So we went through this one. And according to his riches, his anger riseth. The stronger they are which contend, meaning the more they think they know, the more they will be inflamed. Sometimes, man, that happens in like a power struggle, a power control. Is that, a lot of this happens in marriage. There's a woman that thinks she knows, and the more she thinks she knows, the more she's going to talk back. You got some little children like that, too. The more they think they know, the more they're going to talk back. They're going to talk back. They're going to reason. They're going to justify. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. Well, what they really need to do is be quiet. That's what they really need to do. And then you have the youth. You have the young. Okay, Scripture says you younger submit yourselves unto the elders. So you've got to humble and pipe down. You can't do all of that. Arguing and fighting and striving and going back and forth. You got to remember that you're not going to be made innocent in this thing, because in Israel there is always an order and there's a respect code. A hasty contention kindleth a fire. Hasty meaning quick. You quick to respond and you quick to use your voice and you quick to shut your ears off. It's going to kindle a fire. And a hasty fighting does what? And it's going to share the blood. So now you might not put your hands on somebody, But now you're gonna fight with words. That means you're gonna quickly say certain things that are offensive and that hurts. Women telling men they ain't SHIT and you ain't nothing. You a boy. You don't mean nothing to me. Men telling their women that you this and the third, that you lousy, that you are helpful, that you so on and so forth. Hey, when you quickly, without think and without thought, say stuff like that, and that's like slaying a person. You ever see some of these medical shows where the dead bodies had, 300 stab wounds? You're like, wait a minute, how is this 300 punches? That means in the person's mind, they went into shock. They were so vexed and angry that they didn't care. They just kept sticking the person over and over and over and over. They just kept sticking them over and over. That's how we do with each other with words. You don't even count the words. You just argue all day, and you just say all type of stuff. The Most High even count the ones in secrecy. We read that in Wisdom of Solomon. So you just poke the person and stab them and shedded their blood over 300 times. With all your words and thoughts, you shedded their blood. Can't be like that. Verse 12, it says, if thou blow the spark, it's going to burn. It shall burn. So you see a spark kindling. If you see something trying to start, we're not supposed to blow it. When you give it oxygen and air, which is the situation, and it's going to burn. But if thou spit upon it, okay, it shall be quenched. Spit upon it means what? Being spiritual. Use the water, which is the word, to help resolve a situation. Then it's going to quench. It's going to die down. It ain't going to start. But sometimes that seems like that's hard and above us. Conference call, check your phone, mute your phone, please. And both of these come out of thy mouth. I mean, there's a choice. There's a choice to blow the spark, and there's a choice to spit upon it and be spiritual. So now we are definitely going to reap what we sow. So now, if we sow to the Spirit, then we shall of the Spirit reap life, and that's what we're looking for. We're not looking. Nobody is looking to be judged. Nobody is in here saying, you know what? Go ahead and judge me. Go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do that. Why? Because the whisper, when you read the 13th verse, it says, curse the whisper in double tone. What is a whisper? It's somebody that murmurs and talk back. And somebody that murmurs. What is the double tongue? Somebody that's talking back. You talking back, you answering back. You answering again, you being rebellious. You going tit for tat. You going word for word. Regardless of what the person said or the scriptures, you're not hearing those scriptures. You just got everything else to say back. The Lord said, curse that person. We're not cursing you. The Most High is going to curse you because you talk back. For such have destroyed many that were at peace. The Most High said, I'm going to deal with you like this because these people were at peace. Now, they might not have been at peace because you brought static, but what type of people were they? And this is the last precept, and then we'll close. Matthew chapter 5. So it says that they were at peace. Because we read this and we naturally think, they ain't no peace. They ain't at peace. This is what it means. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9. Read that out.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers.
Blessed are the peacemakers. So they willing to do what? They willing to forgive. But you got to keep this fire going. The Lord said, these people are at peace. They want to be at peace with you, but you don't want to forgive. A lot of times, have you ever noticed when you're talking to somebody, they'll say, well, this is what I meant. And instead of you going off a revised understanding on how they feel and how they mean, you want to hold them into the thing that's creating an argument. See, these people at peace, they're trying to be peaceful with you, man. Okay? But you're not trying to be at peace. You're trying to keep this hatred going on. The Lord reserves a person like that for destruction. People like that fall. You won't let the person bring forth the peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. Go ahead.
Well, they shall be called the children of God.
That's what we all seeking for. We're not seeking to be called proud. We're seeking to be called the children of the Most High. So that's it. Unless any brothers got any questions or something to add. Go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry.
That's what we
28 and verse 6.
Okay. Brother got a precept. Ecclesiastes 28.
And what verse is starting at 5? Because you made a good point when you said the Most High reserved people like that for destruction. So I'm going to read it. It says, Ecclesiastes chapter 28 and verse 5. He that is but flesh nourish hatred. I'm sorry, if he that is but flesh nourish hatred, meaning a person is trying to make peace, like the brother was bringing up, and you won't give them that. You want to hold on to what? The hatred, the anger, the grudge. Who will entreat for pardon of his sins? So scripture, who will entreat for pardon of your sins? The person that's nourishing the hatred. It says, remember thy sin, and let enmity cease. So the Most High is saying this is like a plea to go out to the one that do not want to be peaceful, the one that's nourishing hatred and having pride. Remember thy end, and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death. So the Most High is saying, you got to die like that. See? So don't forget that we all is going to appear before the judgment seat of your house. And abide in the commandments. So saying the commandments and within yourself, when wisdom is knocking at the door, open the door.
Right, okay. All right, so any other brother got any precepts or something they want to add to this?
I want to hear this class again. I got to hear this class again.
All right, hallelujah.
What was the topic of this class?
Pride.
Pride. Okay.
Pride. Yes, sir. Topic of this class is pride. There are several different avenues of pride that we walk in. Okay. So it's pride for us to hate one another and for us not to deal with each other in the scriptures and correct one another and be patient with each other. It's just stirred up a spirit of pride that separates us from the love of the Most High. Okay, so yeah, this is actually the third class. There are two different avenues of pride that we dealt with, starting from our Sabbath that last pass, and then the class on Tuesday. So for everybody, I don't know if you're new to the class, we have classes here Tuesday and Thursday and the Sabbath. Okay, and depending on where you're at, I'm in St. Louis, and the classes are from 7:30 to 9:30, 10:30. And we're kind of over now, but it's normally 2 hours. So what we do is kind of linger a little while and let our people come in. And so we normally get 2 hours, but a lot of times it goes 3 hours. The spirit just keeps moving. So, and then our Sabbath service is on the Sabbath. Like I said, I'm in on this Eastern time, right? So. Yeah, so Eastern time is 7:30. On the Sabbath, 3:30, right? Okay. Yeah, between 3:30 and 4. So depending on where you at, if you're in California, then you would several hours behind. So that would be the Central Time. Okay. Yeah, Central Time. So if you were like in East Coast. Yeah, so if you East Coast is y'all gonna laugh at me. That's like New York and stuff like that, right? That's East Coast. Okay, so I believe that time is 2 hours past me. Yeah, 2 hours past. 2 hours past me. So that would on the side of that would be something like 5:30, and then if you West Coast, Cali and stuff like that, then you would be 2 hours before, which would be like 1:30ish. Okay, but if any brother or sister that's on the call, I could text you the class times. Everybody should always be taking notes, but just take the number down and I'll text you. And I also text out, some of the classes, the things that we go through for brothers that come in late. That way you can get the beginning of it or you can get the end of it. I text the conference and the code. The number to text me your information is 314-575-8111. That's St. Louis area code. 314-575-8111. Text me your information, and I'll shoot you the class times, and also put you in the exchange messages to where I send out the classes. You can also go to the school website that's out here. It's www.thegeneralassembly.org. www.thegeneralassembly.org, and that's all one word, the General Assembly. All right. And we can be found on YouTube. There's some classes, video and audio there on YouTube. But it's a longer title, the General Assembly and the Church of the Firstborn. Church of the Firstborn. That's on YouTube. All right. So now, if anybody, before we leave, if you did have something you wanted to say, a scripture, precept, or something, these fools, just bring it out. If not, we're going to close it with Matthew 26. Okay. So Matthew chapter 26. So we'll be back at it again, Most High will, on the Sabbath, hoping and praying Yahweh shall come before then. Oh, Jamie, you had something. What is it?
It's all right. He said the point was made, so I'm just going to re-reference that point.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure? All right. So this is the memorial, okay? In Matthew chapter 26, something that Yahweh said had to be taught. So wherever you brothers out there, because I know you brothers teaching the word of the Most High, so wherever this gospel is to be preached, that this woman have done, y'all brothers got to start doing this if you're not doing it already. So it's Matthew 26 and verse 6. So now when Yahweh was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and she poured it on his head as. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, "To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor." When Yahweh understood it, he said unto them, "Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. See that? So all praises to the Most High, okay, for giving her the spirit to come forth and do something righteous. Like when you read Luke, the 7th chapter, 36 and 7 to the end, it tells you and shows you what this woman done. She came and had a broken and contrite heart, all right, and anointed, okay, the head of Yahushua and gave him comfort for his burial, and also set a huge example of bringing forth the fruits of the Spirit, the fruits of repentance with that broken spirit. So Christ said that wherever this gospel by him is preached, the thing that she done should be what? Preached and told that this woman had done that. So wherever you brothers teaching the scriptures in your prospective city, bring out this good deed that this woman done. This is a commandment that Yahushua gave to us. This ain't an option, okay? So now we're going to go into the Lord's communion in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, okay? But before we do that, it still deals with St. John 6. We'll get this. I ain't got this in a while. St. John 6 and verse 53. It's dealing with the communion of Yahushua, how he himself declared himself to be the bread of life. So St. John 6 and 53. Then said Yahushua unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. So what is Yahushua saying? Yahushua is saying, if we don't fellowship and follow him, that the life that we need to have, it's not going to be in us. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life, and I will rise them up at the last day. So what do we learn about this flesh and this blood of Yahushua? I mean, we learn it through fellowship. We learn what we should do, how we should walk, how we should live, how we should praise and love the Most High, how we should deal with one another, how we should deal with our wives and children, and even Israel in the world, how to deal in every aspect of our life. This is where we learn it from. We learn it when we get around each other. So verse 55 says, for my flesh is meat indeed, meaning the life that Yahushua, that he walked, he said, that's the true meat right there. And my blood, meaning how I gave my life for Israel, he said, that is the drink indeed. For he that eateth my flesh and drinketh my life dwelleth in me. See that? So when you read St. John 17, Christ said, by keeping the commandments, and that's how we dwell in him and he in us. That's St. John 15. Okay? So it says, he that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. So it's all about keeping the commandments. As the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father. So Yahushua say he even kept his Father's commandments. And through the Father do he live. So he that eateth me, meaning so he that followeth him, even he shall live by him. He going to live by him because when you taught Yahushua on how to walk, man, Yahushua going to do what? He going to teach you how to live. But that's going to come through that friendship, that fellowship, like what we read in 1 John 1. That's why this thing here, this is of a necessity for us. You can't go without, you can't make it without this. No man, any true brother actually knows that when you by yourself and you don't have no fellowship, that you sin. The scripture say, woe to him that is alone, because Satan, man, always come. We went through that. On Tuesday. How Satan come and tempt everybody, and that everybody needs somebody to do what? Restore them, even Yahushua himself. So the question that we dealt with was, how did Yahushua, who restored Yahushua? He was the greatest man on the earth, and yet he himself needed to be restored. And the answer was, in Matthew 4, the angels restored Yahushua. All right? So there's no way that we can walk around and not have fellowship. We're going to be sinning without this. We need this. Any brother that wants to truly learn and look and live and make it, and you're going to come into this fellowship of the Spirit. Okay? Now, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, okay, in verse 23. For I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that Mashiach Yahushua the same night in which he was betrayed took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. So now Yahushua of Nazareth said, do this and keep my life and what I did in remembrance. Every time y'all come together, it's going to say that. After the same manner also, he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. So we're showing the life of Yahushua all the way up until he come, from generation to generation. We're going to teach our wives and we're going to teach our children to show the life of Yahushua until he comes. And if he don't come in our generation, our grandchildren and our great-great-grandchildren, because the Lord is setting us in order, according to what we read in Psalms 50. All right? They're going to be doing it. And we're teaching our children to be what? Just like the Christ, and follow everything that we're bringing forth. And just like, remember the family of the Rechabites, how faithful they were. Okay? And they were faithful even after generations, after the father had passed away. They were still faithful. Most I had the power to tell them that they were going to be honored, and they will always have somebody to serve the Most High, because they honored the Most High. That's why it says that we're going to show the Lord's death until he comes. And if he don't come in our lifetime, we want to leave generations behind that still serve the Most High in spirit and truth. We ain't going back to sleep. We ain't serving sin. We serving the Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Mashiach. We serving the Most High, the God of Israel. Okay, and we're going to set up our king. Like the nations are electing their kings, we have elected to serve with our heart, mind, soul, and spirit and truth our king, the king of Israel, our king, the Messiah. Okay, that's why it's imperative that we be diligent and faithful, and we relentless, never give up, and that we lead through hard work, even down to the shedding of our own blood like Yahushua, that we lead that beacon of hope, okay, to our children and our wives and to our neighbors and to our brothers, okay? So, but here's the thing. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty. So you're going to have a problem if you're doing this. You're going to be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. Why is that? Because the Lord is trying to live through you. Most High is trying to come alive to you. Like it said in Corinthians 6, I will walk in them and talk with them, and they shall be my people, and I'm going to be their God. But the Lord is doing that if you sin and you putting Yahushua to death. Yahushua can't be seen. Okay? It can't be seen in you. And that's an issue for the Most High. That's an issue for you. Lord said, I got a problem with that thing. But let a man examine himself. So no, it's not for me to tell you. It's for you to examine yourself and see what you're doing, if you're true or not. So let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. Because eating this bread and drinking this cup, it tells us and everybody around you that you are true. That's what that symbolizes. This is the way, the path, and the life, just like Yahushua. Like Paul said, be you followers of me as I am of Christ. That's what you saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that. Follow me as I follow Christ. So I got the bread and the drink right here, and that symbolizes this to you, okay, that I'm following Christ. So now if you follow my example and I'm leading you astray, then I'm going to be guilty. Okay? Verse 28. Verse 29. So he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself. So if I'm not sincere and I'm not worthy to do this, and I'm misleading and faking, guess what? I'm eating and drinking damnation to himself because I'm not discerning the Lord's body. I'm not concerned about the body of the Lord, which is his congregation, which you happen to be. So I can't lead you astray. I can't tell you or show you anything that's inaccurate or false according to these scriptures. Neither can I set a bad example. That's how the Lord wants you to look at these precepts. He wants you to give the world up, and he wants you to commit. Even in the midst of a corrupt, you understand? Even in the midst of all temptation, he wants you to totally believe and say, I'm going to follow, and I'm going to put it all aside. Because there are people that depend. This is what's going to change their life. For this cause, meaning weak and sickly among you and mean to sleep. For what cause? Because they do it anyway. They eat and drink like Jeremiah 23rd chapter. The Lord said, I didn't send these men. They went anyway. They ran. So there will be people that among you that will eat and drink anyway. But I tell you, brothers, no, don't do that. The Most High will condemn you, man. The Most High will bring judgment down upon you. The Most High will cause you to be weak. If you're weak, that means the door that's knocking inside your head that's telling you to turn, you ain't going to hear it. As a matter of fact, it ain't going to even be there. The Spirit say the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee the sea, leave you weak. Sickly is when you'll be sick. Most High will plague you with illnesses and sicknesses that's hard to recover from. Leave your flesh stagnated, going in and out of, tribulation and things like that. And Lord said, and then he even kills some. That's what the sleep is. For if we would judge ourselves, that we should not be judged. That means what? Examine ourselves. You got to do a self-examination. Because we said earlier, can another person change you? The answer is no. You can only change yourself. That box you got to check. You got to, like a signature, this is something that you can do on your own. You got to do it. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord. So if we don't judge ourselves and we end up getting chastened, that we should not be condemned with the world, the Lord said, I'm going to penalize you, and I'm going to make it so bitter that you're not going to want that no more. So you can get out in front of it by stopping the sin before the Most High penalize you and put that bitterness in your life. It's like an ache and a pain that's going to be with you forever. Once you get a scar, that scar is always there. And you got brothers that say, for instance, you get shot. You can't erase the bullet wound. That bullet wound is going to be with you. Okay? And that pain is going to be there too. Or if you get burned, that's right, brother, if you get burned, okay, that burn is going to always be with you on their flesh. And that roughness, that scar tissue is going to always have some pain there to let you know that you've been permanently scarred. Okay? The Most High, man, that's how he did. He said, I'm gonna chasten you so that you hate that. You ain't going to do that no more. I always use the example of the hot skillet. Some of us try and pick that skillet up that's hot, unconsciously, and you learn a horrible lesson. You only do it once or twice. You only do it one good time. The one that burned your hand up, blistered and everything, you only do that once. So we don't want the Most High to chastise us like that. So we want to examine ourselves before he has to get us. The smart person that will invest in themselves will do that. There are a lot of people that don't do it, though. But don't be like them. You be like Christ. All right? So that's it. Most High in the name of Christ, thank you for the food and drink. Amen. All right, this is his body which is broken for you. This is blood.